Good afternoon and welcome to the Camden Athletic Complex on the campus of Rutgers-Camden as we are here for the PCL Championship here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Brendan Ricciardi, David Shapansky with you here. Bonner taking on Ryan. Brendan, we've had the opportunity to talk about it kind of off air, but two great uniform matchups and two really good teams that have had underrated ways to, get through the PCL tournament and get to the championship. The number 5 seed Ryan, the number 6 seed Bonner.
Yeah, I think for Bonner, we saw, at the beginning of the year, it was very evident that they're a very young team, a lot of new faces in the lineup, a lot of new hitters in the lineup. They kind of needed some time throughout the season to really grow and develop. And I think yesterday's 14-1 win over LaSalle really showed that they're here.
Yeah, really big upset win and also a good performance against Father Judge to get to that semifinal game yesterday. Father Judge really hot in the second half of PCL play. As for Ryan, a 2-0 victory yesterday over Wood. And we'll talk about Jake Marchesano. I mean, how good was he yesterday? 6 2/3. I mean, he's 13 1/3 overall innings pitched in this PCL playoff, and he's only given up 1 run.
Yeah, the weather really Ryan's advantage. Saturday, second round because of the weather. It went to Sunday, Friday, Saturday. He got to pick Sunday and Friday. Obviously not available today, but they basically rode him all the way with West Virginia recruit David Perez not being able to pitch. So now we'll see what they have left in the tank on the pitch.
Well, both of these teams looking for their 5th ever PCL championship victory on the site of the former home of the Camden River Sharks, right near the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. We're here for the PCL championship as Bonner will take on Archbishop Ryan coming up in just a few minutes. We'll take a break here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. We come back. Brendan Ricciardi, I'm David Shapansky. We'll have the call and all the action for you right here after this. Good afternoon once again, and welcome back to the Camden Athletic Complex here on campus of Rutgers-Camden. David Shapansky alongside Brendan Ricciardi with you here on our Delco Baseball Now YouTube channel. Glad you could join us for the PCL Championship as Archbishop Ryan, the 5 seed, will play host technically to the number 6 seed Bonner Friars. Looking forward to today's game. Gave you a little bit of breakdown in the first 90 seconds or so of today's program. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. So we'll start with Bonner. Sergio Hernandez will lead it off, and Brendan, we'll just talk about him for a moment here. I mean, ever since he was injured in the beginning of the year, came back, I mean, he's been red hot for the Friars.
Yeah, and he's been big to set the tone at the top of the order. Bonner kind of had a revolving door of who was batting leadoff. He was out. He's been on this team since he was a freshman, so he's gotten that experience. He's been with this team for the last couple of years. Setting the tone at the top of the order. He really gets them involved.
Michael Coleman will bat second. Ryan Friel leads the team in average 459, will bat third. Gavin Dorito had a big 3-run home run to get the scoring going yesterday for Bonner against LaSalle. Will be the cleanup hitter. Jack Redding will bat fifth. Owen Lockhart will bat sixth. Cole Romano, I mean, how good has he been also defensively? Had the big play to end the game against Father Judge in the quarterfinals. He'll bat seventh. Joey Graziani will bat eighth, and Jack Brown will bat ninth. Again, lineup for the Friars: Hernandez, Coleman, Friel, Dorito, Redding, Lockhart, Romano, Graziani, and Brown are the starting 9. And they're going to face the right-hander for Ryan, who's been really good. Sean Cahill, 1.27 earned run average, 33 innings pitched, Brendan, just 8 walks, 12 strikeouts. So a pitch to contact that really limits base runners.
Yeah, and I think playing on the turf field definitely plays to what his strengths are. He's going to get a lot of ground balls. He's going to let him put the ball in play. He's going to get some drops for his infield. It looks like today, I believe that's David Perez over at third base. That's him over at second base because his arm isn't allowing him to play the left side of the infield. But a very strong infield from Ryan, and seems like, for a Bonner lineup that scored 14 runs yesterday, they're picking up swinging. The wind is blowing in today, so I think some of those deep fly balls that might have left yesterday might be staying in today.
Just a little bit near the bridge.
Yep, we got the the water, the wind coming from the water, but down the right field line, it's a high fence. It's not terribly far, but it's a very high fence.
Yeah, 343 to right center is the distance down the line. Looks like, is that 311 down the right field line?
I see 3-1 something. It's
Yeah,
cut off.
in center field, it's 401, so that's a shot. Let's take a look at the defense for the home Raiders. Goldberg, Chriswicki, and Fitzgerald are in the outfield left to right. Montegro, Cornell, Perez, and Marchesano are left to right in the infield, and Mallory will do the catching for Sean Cahill.
Any of my Suits fans out there, Sean Cahill is a major character in Suits. I wrote that the preview.
Okay, all right.
It's not the same Sean Cahill that put Mike Ross in prison. I'm sorry, Mike Ross out of prison.
Here's Sergio Hernandez, and it looks like the umpires looking. Tell him to cry a little bit.
He was telling him to stay out.
Guys,
The dugout. I've never seen a bigger coaching staff than Bonner. They got like 10 guys in the dugout. Shout out my guy Ryan Tecco from the Drexel Hill Phillies in the dugout there.
and also, too, there's a lot of foul territory here. It's a big backdrop that can take good bounces. That's where we are, right behind the plate. Down the right field line and down the left field line is the bullpens, but there's a lot of foul territory down those lines as well. I think a little more down the right field line, down the left field line, but very similar. And we're ready for a first pitch on this Saturday morning, and Cahill is going to deliver a first pitch chopped on the ground by Hernandez. Over to short. Cornell is throw over the first is in time. Score to put out 6-3. First pitch swinging for Hernandez, and he is retired for the first out.
They're going to be swinging early and often here.
So Hernandez retired. Here's Michael Coleman, the left-hander for Bonner, hitting .397 this year, Gettysburg recruit. Beautiful jersey, especially for the Friars. I mean, that green and yellow. They wore the same uniforms yesterday against LaSalle in the 14-1 win in 6 innings. Here's a strike. It's 1-1. But yeah, Cahill will work fast. As we said, he doesn't strike out a whole lot of batters. He doesn't walk a whole lot of batters. So he's going to pitch to contact. And we'll see how Bonner can score some runs today, at least try to put the ball in play. They did a great job yesterday against the Explorers. Next pitch is outside. It's 1-1. Coleman's such a big part of this offense for Bonner. As I said, he's hitting .397, has some power, and he's been really in this spot the entire season. And Coach DeBarberry has been happy with his performance. I'm you not, Brendan. Almost hitting .400. He takes the next pitch low. It's 2-1.
PCL Championship play. Working on getting the video quality, and I think the internet needs to settle in. You fill out a little bit here down the lines.
A good crowd, really, on both sides here. Not a lot of benches, though, for fans to sit here. The 2-1 is just a little bit outside, perhaps low, and it's now 3-1. Good hitters count for Michael Coleman for Bonner. Coleman, the left fielder for the Friars. That's the question for Bonner, and not necessarily for Coleman, but defensively, that's one weakness for Bonner. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and this one is a little bit outside, ball 4. And the first base runner of the day will come here with 1 out in the top of the first, and it's a walk for Michael Coleman. Is Ryan Friel coming up to the plate. Talked about Friel in the open. Back-to-back lefties in the top order here. You have Coleman and Friel, a gauntlet for this Bonner order, and Friel leading the Friars an average .459 this season. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you. We're working on some of our video issues to get that fixed.
Here.
We have a check back pickoff over here at first. Sliding in safely is Coleman. First baseman Marchesano is over there for Ryan. He pitched 6 2/3 yesterday for Ryan against Wood in a 2-0 win for Ryan. Threw 100 pitches. First pitch to Friel's outside. It's 1-0. But so far combined in this playoff run for Ryan, 13 1/3 innings pitched for Marchesano. You won't see him pitching in today's game, but he's going to be over there at first base. He's been excellent for the Raiders. 1 ball, no strike count, and Cahill will once again check on Coleman, who slides in safely. You'll hear some boos from the Bonner dugout. Right around 60 degrees for first pitch here today. Again, wind definitely blowing in, about 20 miles per hour right near the base of the Delaware River. And Cahill again checks back on Coleman, and he's in safely closer that time. With 1 out here in the top of the first, Sergio Hernandez grounded out the short to begin the ball game. Michael Coleman over there with a walk. 1 ball, no strikes account to Ryan Friel. Nothing ball game here in the PCL Championship. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There goes Coleman, and it's a hit and run. This ball's fouled back towards the football field, and it's 1-1 as Coleman will retreat back first. A good crowd really on both sides today. Bonner on the third base side of things, using the third base dugout. Ryan, technically the home team, the number 5 seed over there in the first base dugout. Good crowd again on both sides. 1-1 strike to count. And again, Cahill checks back on Coleman, who's in safely. Scoreboard is out there in left center where it's 378. Talked about the dimension down the line. It's fairly short, 401 out to center. Scoreboard is on for this contest. Yeah, left center, 378. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one is upstairs. It's 2-1. To Ryan Friel, again, the third hitter to bat in the inning for Bonner. And Bonner had a lot of long innings yesterday against the Sal at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. 1 out. Cahill, the righty, comes home, and this pitch is outside. It's 3-1. And now we're going to see Malloy head out to the mound and have a conversation with the Ryan right-hander Cahill. As Mallory will try to calm down Cahill, who has struggled with his command here early. Back to 3-ball counts. To get a quick out, though, of Fernandez. Again, as we said in the open, Cahill really limits walks. He's pitched in 33 innings. He's allowed just 8 walks with a 1.27 earned run average so far this season. I mean, we talked about Marchesano, who was great yesterday for Ryan against Wood, but Cahill is also really good. The 3-1 pitch. There goes Coleman. It's a strike. The throw on a bounce is not in time. And it's now 3-2 as the ball trickled away, I believe, from Perez. So runner in scoring position for Bonner. Full count here to Friel with 1 out here in the top of the first. David Spansky alongside Brendan Ricciardi with you here on our Delco Baseball Now YouTube channel. Glad you join us. Definitely doesn't feel like Saturday, May 24th weather out here. It feels like April. But regardless, the PCL Championship. Cahill looks back Coleman at second, delivers a 3-2. This ball's hit in the air, out to right field. Fitzgerald comes running in. The center fielder, Chris Wicke, almost collide, but the catch is put away, I believe, by the right fielder, Fitzgerald. And Coleman will head back to second, as there are now 2 outs here in the first.
After this half inning, I'll stop the field for a second to try and get it reconnected.
Well, we really saw the wind took that ball and blew it in. I mean, I thought that ball was fairly deep out to right center field. It ended up in shallow right center field, where Fitzgerald made the catch. So the wind is definitely going to be a factor, blowing a lot of baseballs in. And here's Gavin Dorita. Wind was not a factor for his home run yesterday. He crushed it to right field at Maple Zone Sports Institute. 3-run shot to get the scoring, a lot of scoring for Bonner against LaSalle. 2 outs. Cahill's first pitch to out. Dorita has gone back behind the plate, and it's 0-1. Dorita has 2 home runs this year. Talked about the one yesterday against LaSalle, 13 RBIs, and still on the younger side of things is Dorita, and he's going to have a bright future here at Bonner.
Absolutely. They got a very young lineup, a lineup that's gotten that experience throughout the season, and they're starting to show that here in the playoffs.
Runner on second of 2 outs here in the top of the first. Ryan pitching to Bonner. It's Dorita at the plate. The lefty facing the righty Cahill. Cahill delivers. The 0-1 is lined down the right field line, slicing foul towards the batting cages, and it will hit off the net. It's 0-2, but 2 pretty good swings by Dorita, who was trying to stay on that fastball from Cahill. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Again, glad you could join us. Beautiful day for baseball here at the Camden Athletic Complex, home of Rutgers-Camden, Scarlet Raptors. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Runner leads off second. That's Coleman. Dorita at the plate. Cahill looks back to second, comes home. The 0-2, line through the hole in the right field for a base hit. Fitzgerald coming in, waving home is Coleman. The throw to the plate is up the line. And will score. Bonner's on the board, heading to second on the throw is Gavin Dorita. Once again, it's a big hit in the first inning for Gavin Dorita. It's a 1-0 lead for the Friars.
Hey, Jack, your turn.
So a single for Gavin Dorita. He'll advance to second on the throw. And Coleman will score the first run of the day here in the PCL Championship. 1-0 lead. And here's Jack Redding. There are 4 umpires in this game today. It looks like the first base umpire going to talk things over with the home plate umpire, who has been very vocal about wanting the teams to stay in the dugouts here early. Redding, again, a .298 hitter this season, stands in for the right side. He's a third baseman for the Friars. A Holy Family recruit. Runner on second is Dorita. 1-0 lead for Bonner. Cahill looks back the runner at second. Comes home to Redding, and this is a called strike. It's 0-1. That was pretty low. Redding's been awesome this year defensively and offensively for Bonner. He's been a pillar over there at third base. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. 2 outs. here in the top of the first. One run in for Bonner. Cahill in the home red uniforms for Ryan delivers home. This ball's popped up a mile high. The wind might be a journey on this one. Fitzgerald is in. The first baseman Marciano is out, and he'll put it away for the third and final out. So Bonner does get on the board here in the top of the first via a RBI single to right field from Gavin Dorito. We played a half of an inning here at the Camden Athletic Complex. Bonner 1, Archbishop Ryan coming up here in the bottom of the first on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. I think it's working on some of our video issues here as we get to the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 lead for Bonner. Ryan about to come up to the plate. We'll check out the pitcher for Bonner in a second. Michael Polonsky. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Raiders. Flash Kuzwicki will lead it off for Ryan. Victor Cornell will bat second. Dave Perez has been the MVP for Archbishop Ryan, hitting .446 this season, will bat third. Jake Marciano will bat fourth. Emil Fabio Monigro will bat fifth. Chase Laheath will bat sixth. Sean Cahill, the pitcher, will bat seventh. Pat Fitzgerald will bat eighth. And Aiden Goldberg will bat ninth. And their ace, the right-hander for Bonner, Michael Kowalski, has been a really pleasant surprise for them. Bonner had a lot of injuries to the pitching staff earlier this season, and Kowalski has really stepped up in his role, him and Johnny Ortega. Kowalski this season, a 0.94 earned run average to lead Bonner pitching staff, gets the start here in the PCL Championship game. Opponents are hitting just 154 against him. He's pitched 37 1/3 of an inning, 27 strikeouts, 13 walks. So again, a guy that will pitch to contact, very similar to Sean Cahill, the starter for Ryan. 1-0 lead after an RBI single from Gavin Dorita. Got the scoring started for Bonner as we're heading to the bottom of the first here at the Camden Athletic Complex. Ryan with 2 wins. They beat Conwell Egan in the quarterfinals, and then with a semifinal win yesterday at MSI against Wood. 2-0, a low-scoring game. Ryan, though, did find the gaps. They had a few doubles in that game, did the Raiders, but had a troublesome time a little bit to score some runs. We'll see how Ryan does today, facing Kowalski. And here's Flash Kuzwicki, who will lead it off for Archbishop Ryan.
Definitely not, a stranger to something with a very hard to pronounce couple consonants.
Kuzwicki, yes.
Yeah.
First pitch to the center fielder for Ryan is a strike. It's 0-1.
SZCZ to get a name started.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of consonants. No balls and 1 strike to count to Kuzwicki. A .373 hitter this year for Ryan. Again, facing Kowalski on the mound for the Friars. The 0-1 pitch from the Bonner righty is a little bit outside. It's 1-1. David Schwatsky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. We believe that we have the video issues fixed, so that's great to see. Again, glad you could join us.
For the time being, until the hotspot goes out, we'll work on it.
Yeah, the internet doesn't seem too bad here. The 1-1 pitch is lined on the ground over to second. Graziani's up with it. His throw to first was well in time to retire the leadoff hitter, Kuzwicki. And 3 pitches that will earn Kowalski the first out here at the bottom of the first. Victor Cornell is now coming up for Ryan. Cornell, a .347 hitter. Brendan, Cornell has 9 doubles this year. Ryan plays at a pretty deep field, but 9 doubles.
On a turf field here, he puts him in the gap. He could be setting at 3 as well.
Cornell stands in from the righty side. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch from Kowalski has popped up foul over the Ryan dugout towards the facilities here at Rutgers-Camden. It's 0-1. Ben is here. That's great to see. Ben has the Blue Jays shirt on, and that brings up something that I want to talk about. Ryan's jerseys look like the Blue Jays jerseys, except they're red. Real 1 pitch is
They're on
2.
Canada Day jerseys.
That's what I mean.
You know, yeah.
That's what they look like. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Kowalski working ahead. The 0-2 pitch to Cornell, a little bit high. It's 1-2 as Kowalski going back to the fastball. Pretty good strike zone so far here from the home plate umpire in the bottom of the first. 1-0 lead for Bonner.
How about us getting spoiled with 4 umps in the night?
I said it in the beginning. The 1-2 is chopped foul at the foot there of Cornell. A little bit early there was the Ryan shortstop, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Cornell. 1-0 lead for Bonner. You're just joining us here in the PCL Championship game. Bonner earning a spot after defeating the number 1 seeded LaSalle yesterday. Ryan getting here after beating Wood. The 1-2 is lined hard up the middle in the center field for a base hit, and Cornell had the first hit of the day for Ryan. And both of these teams had a ground out to lead off the game, and then a single after that, or a base runner, I should say, after that to the 2-hole hit.
Here's the name to know: David Perez, second baseman for Ryan. He's heading to West Virginia. He's got over 1,500 OPS this year. Ryan has 500 this year. You want to guess how many Dave Perez has?
I'm going to guess all 5.
He's got all 5 on the team this year.
No, I did look at the stats earlier, so I had a little bit of it.
They're a very singles-heavy team, and he's the guy that has their extra bases.
This ball's crushed.
And that's very easy to see why.
Foul towards the river. That ball might be in the Delaware River. It's long foul. It's 0-1.
Yeah.
No balls and 1 strike to count to Perez. Again, a .446 hitter, 18 RBIs this year. He's 2 for 5 in the PCL playoffs with 4 walks. I mean, teams, they try to pitch around him. The 0-1 is lined in the left center field. This ball is down for a base hit. Lockhart is in. He's going to pick it up, and he'll hold Cornell to second. But it's back-to-back singles for the Raiders, and Perez continues to be scorching hot this season.
I'll tell you what, man, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He has a gorgeous swing, and he just barrels every ball. He sees the ball very well. He takes it very well out of the hand, and it's very easy to see why he's the best PCL.
Well, here's the cleanup hitter, Jake Marchesano, and I mean, how good he was on the mound yesterday. He's also a really good hitter. He's the cleanup hitter, hitting .323 this season, going to Delaware as a pitcher, but he can swing it, and he's playing first base today. Runners on first and second with 1 out, 1-0 lead for Bonner. Kowalski will expect the runner at second in the bottom of the first. Now kicks home from the belt, and this pitch is fouled back towards the right field line, and out of play once again here at the base of the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, just outside of Philadelphia. No balls and 1 strike to count.
Come on, Bonner.
David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Again, runners on first and second at second to Cornell with good speed. Perez is over there at first. No balls and 1 strike to count to Marchesano. 1-0 lead for Bonner. The 0-1 pitch. Big lead at second, and it's a swing and a miss. Looks like a changeup there from Kowalski, and now Romano will head out to the mound and have a talk with Kowalski. Might be about the big lead that Cornell was getting over there at second base. No balls and 2 strikes to count. And we have our first train moving through the Benjamin Franklin pitch, heading over to Camden. Can't miss that set.
I'll tell you what, man. We had some people, complaining on social media. This game between Philly and Philly's being played in Jersey. We're right across the bridge, first off. And this field's awesome. This backdrop is great. The field surface is awesome.
It is beautiful, and you can see the skyline from the first base line perfectly in Philadelphia. The Comcast buildings.
Yeah, great point. Great point from Ben. This field's closer to Philly. A lot of PCL.
The 0-2 was chopped on the ground.
Yeah,
Dorita has it and tagged the bag, heading to second. Out is Perez, a double play turned by Gavin Dorita. I mean, what a throw from Dorita, right on the money. It had to be to get Perez, and that will end the inning. Bonner's defense, which has been a weakness this year, was a big strength at the bottom of the first.
As a first baseman, that's not an easy play because you're focused on getting that out first. You got to make a perfect throw to be able to get that tag. It's not a force. You got to get that tag in second to put it right on the money.
Yeah, what a throw there from Dorita. I don't think Ryan's coaching staff is all that happy with the call, but we played a full inning here in Camden, New Jersey. 0-0 lead for Bonner, and the Friars will go back to work here in the top of the second after this. Top of the second we go here at the Camden Athletic Complex in the PCL Championship. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Bonner leading Archbishop Ryan 1-0 here in the top of the second. Great play there by Gavin Dorita to get the double play with the first and throw strike over the second base to be able to get the tag out there on Cornell. Perez. There are 2 outs. So great play there for the double play from Dorita in the bottom half of the first as we get started here in the top of the second. Lockhart will lead off for Bonner, hitting .266 this season, facing the righty Cahill. And the first pitch here at the second is on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Cahill, as we said in the open, really is a guy that limits the amount of runs he gives up, but also limits base runners. Doesn't strike out a whole lot of batters, doesn't walk a whole lot of batters. The next pitch is outside. It's 1-1 to Owen Lockhart, the center fielder for Bonner, who's also been really good this year. And Bonner just seems to have a bunch of lefties in their lineup. Lefties. And when you're facing lefties especially, that's great to have on your roster.
Yeah.
The next pitch is popped up in the air out to right field. Fitzgerald running in again with the wind. It's going to be an adventure today. Fitzgerald puts this one away fairly easily for the first out here of the second. With 1 out here in the top of the second, Romano, the catcher, is coming up for Bonner. 1-0 lead for the Friars here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. The PCL Championship. God cover beginning to move over our heads. And I think just after Ben, who's on tweet duty today, as always, you can check us out on Twitter at Delco Baseball Now. Rain did fall in the 6th inning of Bonner's game yesterday against LaSalle. The Wood-Ryan game was already over. It was a quick shower. Hopefully no rain in the forecast today. This ball popped up again out to right field. Fitzgerald's been busy. The second baseman Perez is over. Again coming in is Fitzgerald. Does drop but foul. So a long strike there for Romano. It's 0-1. But again, the right fielder has been busy, Fitzgerald, but so has Perchisano. No balls and 1 strike to count here to Romano. 7-0 hitter for Bonner. 1 out here in the second.
Give a quick shout out to a great mustache behind the plate today.
When he takes off the mask, you can see it, yes.
He's got.
I always like to give the umpires credit when they're doing well, and so far, it's early. It's We've had some questionable umpire games in the game of the week. We're all talking about the Episcopal game.
No. Even both coaches came up. They're like, was it wide? We're like, yeah,
Just a little
wide.
The 0-1 pitch is outside. It's 1-1. But Brendan, you want to talk a little bit about what else has been going on in Delco? And then we have the Ryder game coming up. Haverford was a tough game yesterday.
Yeah, Haverford, Jimmy Boyer was out with injury. Haverford lost to North Penn, but Radnor took down extras.
The 1-1 pitch is again popped up down the right field line. This one is headed towards the seats.
For the
It's
second,
1-2.
For the second straight year, Radnor will be heading to the district championship in the 5A bracket. They will be taking on Upper Dublin. They've already clinched their spot in the state tournament. They will look to bring home the district championship.
And guess where you can listen to that game?
Delco Baseball Now. That'll be a home game for you at Villanova Ballpark.
Home game not for my house. Home game for school.
Home game for my house. Living in Conshohocken. It's 5 minutes from Copenhagen.
Cahill steps off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Romano. 1 out here in the top of the second. 1-0 lead for the Friars. The righty kicks home. This one's outside. Breaking ball. It's 2-2. Romano, a right-handed hitting catcher. Again, he's been good behind the plate. Had the game-ending throw against Father Judge in the quarterfinals. Couple hits yesterday for Romano. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Cahill looks at the catcher. Comes home. Called. Strike 3. On the outside part of the plate. Good pitch there by Cahill. Came back just enough on the outside part of the plate, and that is the first strikeout of the day for Sean Cahill, and that is his 13th of the season. 2 outs.
That's all right.
There's Joey Graziani. Graziani coming up here facing Cahill. He's back up the middle for a base hit, and Graziani, your sinus commit, is aboard with a 2-out single here in the second, and that will turn things over to Jack Brown, who's hitting the 9-hole, but Brendan, I mean, he had a couple nice swings yesterday and really kind of set the table for the top of the lineup. Hernandez, Coleman, and Friel. He was good yet.
Yeah, he earned his spot early in the year when they were dealing with some injuries. Sergio Hernandez was out. He showed that he can play anywhere you need him in the infield. He gets some big hits at the bottom of the order, and he can really extend this thing over for Hernandez at the top of the order.
One of my friends.
2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Runner for Bonner. Already 1 run in for the Friars earlier in the top of the first. Ryan, the 5 seed. Bonner, the 6 seed. Cahill throws back to first, sliding in safety is Graziani.
And Philadelphia. I smell
Other schools from around the area. I don't know why they scheduled this at the same exact time. Episcopal and Malvern Prep playing in the Paces State. Episcopal leads in
Bonner.
the third. It would be their first ever.
First pitch here to Brown is a called strike. It's 0-1.
Gonna have to keep an eye on those games. Gonna have to have a word with
Don't even
whoever scheduled these two at the same time.
And that game is at Villanova.
That game's at Malvern Prep.
Malvern Prep.
It was originally supposed to be at Ursinus, but the coach agreed that they would play at Malvern. Easier for travel for us.
Sure. No balls in one. Strike to count to Jack Brown, the 9-0 hitter. And against step up, but it's a block against Sean Cahill. We had a block yesterday that was controversial. That went against LaSalle. And once again, it's going to go against Bonner's opponent. Heading down to second is Graziani. And a big opportunity here for Jack Brown, is hitting 200 to get an RBI here. No balls and one strike to count. Again, Brown swung the bat really well yesterday against LaSalle. See what Brown has in store here. No balls and one strike to count. Top of the second. 1-0 lead for the Friars. Cahill looks back at second. Comes home. Outside. It's 1-1.
One of the rare times we've got a good behind the plate view. I feel like a lot of the time we're kind of off to the side. But yeah, it's a very nice setup here at Rutgers-Camden.
Absolutely, Brendan. In terms of Brown, he's 7 RBIs this season, looking for his 8th. Would be a big one to extend the lead for Bonner. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Big swing there from Brown. Again, Ryan in their home red uniforms that look like the Canada Day uniforms for the Blue Jays. I had the Blue Jays. Brendan had the Canada Day. We put it together. Good duo.
And then we can both agree on retro Oakland A's here for the
Absolutely.
Bonner.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Cahill with 2 outs comes home. Outside corner, called strike 3. And 2 strikeouts in the inning for Sean Cahill, who's fired up as he heads back to the dugout. We're headed to the bottom of the second inning here at the Camden Athletic Complex in Camden, New Jersey. 1-0 lead for the Friars. We'll be right back here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Bottom of the second, so far a good battle through first inning and a half. 1-0 lead for Bonner here in the PCL Championship. 5, 6, and 7 coming up for Ryan. So far, Kowalski threw an inning and looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think both pitchers are very similar. They're not going to blow much by you, but they have really good off speed. They have really good command, and they're pitch to contact. You know, I think in an environment like this where the wind is really blowing in, you're going to get some guys that maybe see that short porch and right to get a little excited, get a little under the ball. But these guys right here, you know, they're going to let you hit it.
Well, I think you said it really well. I mean, Kowalski, again, not a guy that's going to overpower you, but he's a really good pitcher, knows how to pitch. And I know that sounds kind of general, but it is the case. He knows how to hit the corners and limits the damage. There's Emil Fabio Monegro swings at the first pitch. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is called strike, 0-2.
Now, the thing with Kowalski, I would assume he's going to Alberti in a pitch, but he also plays the field a bit. He's really stepped up. Corey Sheridan, their ace, Rutgers crew, he's been out the entire season. There's a chance he comes in out of the bullpen for his first appearance of the season to close this out.
The 0-2 is upstairs. It's 1-2. And what would that be for Sheridan in a moment to win the PCL championship? Again, talking to Coach Marbury earlier, seems like maybe an inning, but again, you don't really know. He's been kind of throwing some bullpens. The 1-2 pitch, chopped foul. And again, they want to be careful with him for multiple reasons. College coming up, of course, but also just the health and safety of him and him not throwing a whole lot, obviously, this season with the injury.
I'll tell you what, though, he's a warrior, and if he feels like he's ready to go and go out there, it's not going to be a mental block for him. If he's not going to, be able to go out and swing, it's a physical thing because he's going to be ready to compete.
There's the 1-2 pitch. This one's lined in the center field. It's dropping quickly. Locke's coming in, but it's going to fall in for a base hit. And Monegro is aboard with a leadoff single here in the second. Chase LaHaff is coming up.
Play.
Or LaHeath, I should say.
Double play, Bonner.
David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here in the bottom of the second. Everybody can join us here on our YouTube channel. Again, you can check out our tweets as well on Twitter at Delco Baseball Now. The Instagram is the same, right?
Sir? I think that's just Delco Baseball.
Okay. Got it. Here is Lahif coming up, and he's going to hit the ball back to the mound. Kowalski had to wait for Graziani to get back to the bag, and they are going to get an out over there. Second, maybe not. That was close. Safe. I think they did call him safe. Yeah, so a little late to get back to the second base bag was Graziani. I don't think that was so much on Kowalski. I think it was on there was nobody at second base covering that play.
I think he's ready to sort of second at all times. I don't think anybody was there. I think once you start to double clutch, you got to kind of have that internal clock to be able to pivot and throw the first.
Sure, and you probably just want to get one out there, take
No,
it, and give you.
you.
So there are now runners on first and second with nobody out. Here's the pitcher, Sean Cahill, who can help him out. 1-0 lead for Bonner. Here in the bottom of the second, Cahill shows bunt. This one is way outside. Just want to know, good stop there by Romano. And we said it in the open. This is a big backdrop here, especially when we are behind the plate. That ball gets away. It could take bounces for days. So you want to be really careful. Get a lot of foul ground here on both sides here at the Camden Athletic Complex.
Got some life in the Ryan dugout here.
No ball, no strikes to count. Cahill shows bunt again. It's popped up. Coming is Kowalski. It's going to drop past the mound. Dorita will come in to get it. He throws to third, and he will get it out there. So Montegro is going to be out trying to get to third. Cahill will head down to first. So it's a fielder's choice. Great play, though, by Kowalski. Kind of overran it. Dorita came in, the first baseman, and made a strike throw over there to third base. And had plenty of time, but again, it was just about if that ball dropped. Montegro had to wait to see if that ball fell. And it's going to be runners on first and second for Ryan with one out. We're going to get a courtesy runner here for the Raiders. We're going to see who's coming in. I'll get that for you. So Cahill, the pitcher, will head back to the dugout. So, Game Changer may have that a little quicker than we do. It's hard to see the numbers. 13 is the courtesy runner on the home plate umpire.
Yeah, that's the umpire.
That was great. All right.
Just talking about his mustache. So he decided to.
Possibly. That is Ace Davila over there at first base. Davila.
Ace and a flat.
That's great. That's a really great name for Ryan. One out, so the Villa's over there at first. There's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1 to Pat Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, a 196 hitter this season for Ryan.
So we saw a bubble flag up by us.
One out here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 lead for Bonner here in the PCL Championship. At second is Lahif. At first is Davila. Fitzgerald at the plate. The 0-1 pitch chopped on the ground, foul. And it's 0-2. Kowalski working ahead of the 8-hole hitter for Bonner. That's Fitzgerald. 8-hole hitter for Ryan. That's Fitzgerald.
And now Ryan, I believe officially will be heading to at least the city championship. I think the state tournament as well in the 4A bracket. Bonner needs to win this game to keep their season.
No balls and 2 strike to count to Fitzgerald here in the PCL Championship. Runners on first and second. Ryan threatening here in the second. The 0-2 pitch home is chopped on the ground over to third. Redding is going to pick it up, but it's just foul. And it remains 0-2. A couple balls being peppered down that third base line by Fitzgerald. Jack Redding definitely wants to stay ready. We'll see if he kind of guards the line a little closer here. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Finishing up that thought on Bonner. Bonner, if they win this game, they would need to be at least central in the 6A bracket to get to the state tournament. Usually the Philly Public League teams haven't been very competitive in that city championship to get to the PCL teams. But Central has a bucket out pitcher. So that game's going to get you like it maybe has been a difference.
Keep an eye on that, of course. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Kowalski comes set. The right-hander for Bonner at the belt. Kicks home. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Kowalski. And there are now 2 outs here in the second. And the Bonner bench is once again fired up.
He's got that slider working in really well. He's doing a good job of making it start like.
Way to go, Bonner!
And having it end up low and away to the righties, and they're not picking it up yet.
And here's Aiden Goldberg, the 9-hole hitter for Ryan, hitting 188 this season. Goldberg is the left fielder for the Raiders. Runners on first and second. Ryan not trying to strand the runners here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 lead for Bonner. Kowalski's first pitch to Goldberg is a little low. It's 1-0. Flash Kraswicki is on deck. Again, one of the best hitters for this Ryan team, hitting 373 this season. Over there at second is Lahif. Over there at first is the pinch runner, Davila. After Cahill reached on a fielder's choice with a bunt. 1 ball, no strikes to count here in the bottom of the second. The pitch a little bit high on a fastball. It's 2-0 to Goldberg.
Stadium's starting to fill out here a little bit. Jersey, they said right over the bridge, so not very far from East Philadelphia area. So just
people might have wanted to sleep in. Bonner, both of these teams celebrating yesterday.
I certainly wanted to. We covered 7 games yesterday.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. This one's chopped on the ground. Redding will give it a look, but if the third base coach for Ryan will make the play, it's 2-1.
We're definitely getting low on teams still playing. Chichester, Radnor, and Haverford will all play Tuesday. Radnor's the only one that's officially clinched the berth. Episcopal and Malvern will be done today regardless, and see what happens with Bonner. But definitely starting to really focus in on teams that are going to make deep runs.
2-1 strike the count with 2 outs in the second. Chopped on the ground weakly to third. Redding charges, going to pick it up with his glove, and really had no chance to make a play there. Just perfectly placed by Goldberg, and the bases are loaded for Archbishop Ryan.
Good try, buddy.
That's a really tough play for Redding. And that will turn things over to Chris Wickman. Now there's chance of let's go Ryan. Bases are loaded. And, Brendan, yesterday, Ben and I were there, of course, at the MSI. And out of all the teams that had spectators there, I think Ryan's might have been the loudest, to be honest. So we'll see if they try to make some noise here. But bases are loaded for the Raiders.
I think Diamond's going to take that one first.
Well, they were loud. Don't get me wrong. Chopped on the ground over to second. Graziani has it. The first is in time. Great pitching there for Kowalski, who will get the out there of Chris Wicki. 1 pitch and 1 out to retire Chris Wicki. And we're headed to the top of the third. Kowalski works out a damage in the second. 1-0 lead for Bonner here at the Camden Athletic Complex. Top of the third we go. Bonner leading Archbishop Ryan 1-0 here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you. Temperature around 60 degrees, but the wind has really picked up, and it's a cold one near the Delaware River here in Camden, New Jersey in the PCL Championship. 1, 2, and 3 coming up for the Friars. Sergio Hernandez, Michael Coleman, and Ryan Friel. And the scoring for Bonner got started in the first inning on a RBI single from Gavin Dorito, who's been red hot for the Friars.
Got another train passing by.
Second train passing by here, the former home of the Camden River Sharks. I really spent a moment here in the memorial for the Camden River Sharks, Campbell's Field, earlier today as a child coming to games here. Really sad. I know this field's not here. Hernandez lines the first pitch in the center field for a base hit. And Hernandez will get the rally started early here in the third. 1-0 lead for Bonner as they look to extend it. Hernandez shortstop is aboard here in the third. We've seen quite a few balls up the middle for really both of these teams. Hard hit on a line. And here's Michael Coleman, who scored the only run of the day between these two teams in the first. We were still early, just in the third. But Coleman, 397 hitter, reached the walk back in the first inning. In the rare walks that Sean Cahill, the starter for Ryan, gives up, Coleman had one of them. Run on first here in the top of the third. There goes Hernandez. Ball's outside. Throw down to second. It's not in time. Great jump there by Hernandez. And there's a stolen base for the shortstop for Bonner. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Coleman, and Bonner's bench really making some noise now here in the third.
I watched that catch between
Bonner would love to get a big lead once again, especially with, Ortega not going to pitch today. You would think Buckton is also not going to pitch today. So they're going to have to try to piece things together here. We'll see how long Kowalski gives them. He's been pretty good so far in the first two. Got around damage or some base runners there in the second. 1 ball and no strikes. The count showing bunt is Coleman. He'll get it down, but it goes foul. And it's now 1-1.
I wrote the preview. I think Bonner would be thrilled if they can get about 4 out of 5 in the Kowalski and have Jack Redding come in after. But as we mentioned, Coach Steve Barbera told us
And Sheridan, yeah.
There's a chance that Corey Sheridan can come out of the pen. I know it'd have to be the right situation. It would certainly be, almost like a movie scene moment type.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a 3-0 game, I think you're going to do it. We'll see. Again, the health is the priority there. Runner on second, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Nobody out. 1-0 lead for Bonner. The 1-1 home is outside. It's 2-1.
Yeah, high school baseball is funny because you have some guys that, when they're playing in a high school game, they could be their last ever baseball game. And they'll tell you, I'll go out and give you everything I got because I don't care if I, have an injury, right? But then there's guys like Sheridan said, you're playing Division I baseball for the next 4 years. Winning this game matters, and you have to keep in mind the long-term future too.
2 balls and 1 strike to count. Cahill looks back at second. Now going to kick home to Coleman and swing and a miss. And it's now 2-2. Ryan Friel is on deck for the Friars. 1-0 lead for Bonner. As Bonner looking to win its 5th ever PCL Championship and its first since 2022. But if things go right for Bonner, maybe that's a sign of good things to come for the Phillies, who made the World Series in 2022. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Cahill comes set. Runner on second here in the top of the third. Nobody out. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Went back to the breaking ball. And Coleman is retired for the first out here in the third. That is the second strikeout of the day for the Ryan righty.
Call my shot here. I think 4 hits went over the monster.
Really?
Yeah,
We're going to call it the Green Monster over there.
I guess we'll go black.
Yeah,
Right?
because it's
it's
the
the reverse of Fenway. It's the high and short fence in the right field.
Yes,
The wind's blowing in though, so it might be tough. So you got to call it something.
absolutely. Here's Friel. Lefty stands in. Over there at second is Hernandez. Both hit in the air. Wheel out to right field. It's going in. Fitzgerald will come in. He started back, now comes in. Heading back to second is Hernandez, and that's allowed second out here in the third.
About 0.2 seconds, I thought I was going to have my greatest moment in my life.
I mean, it's going to be tough to pull it over that fence today. It's going to be tough to hit a home run anywhere, even down the lines where it's about 310 with the wind blowing in. I mean, you would have to really hit it like 350 just to get it out of 310 with the way the wind's blowing in here today. Again,
Also,
right near the river.
the very high fence, too.
Yes, 2 outs. Here's Gavin Dorita. Well, if there's anyone who can pull one over the fence, Dorita's a top option for Bonner. 2 home runs this year, had one yesterday against LaSalle to right field. And with 2 outs, first pitch Dorita popped up foul. The third baseman, Johnny Groh, is over towards the dugout. It will go out of play over the Bonner dugout. It's 0-1. David Stepanski, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Top of the third of the PCL Championship, 1-0 lead for Bonner. Sean Cahill, the starter out there for Ryan, with 2 outs in the third. Dorita, the cleanup hitter for Bonner.
Come on, Bonner. Let's go, Bonner.
RBI single, only RBI hit of the day for Bonner or for either of these teams here in the third. No balls and 1 strike to count. Hernandez with good speed over there at second. Cahill gives him a look. Now comes home. The 0-1 is hit on the ground hard up the middle in the center field for a base hit. Chris Whitty drops it. Easily coming in to score. It's 2-0 lead. Hernandez is fired up. And Dorita has his second RBI of the day. And is anybody as hot as Gavin Dorita right now at the plate?
No, not at all. And it's not that he had a bad regular season, but he has 100% stepped up in the playoffs without a doubt. And, he's making my decision to put him on the game day graphic. We're pretty good.
We're going to have to. Yeah, 2-0 lead for Bonner here in the third. That's a two-out hit for an RBI there by Dorita after the leadoff. Hernandez was able to get on. He didn't want to strand that runner if he were the Friars. So now runner at first, 2 outs. Here's Jack Redding, the Holy Family commit, and he was swinging the first pitch. Pop it up again, Fitzgerald. He's been busy today out in right center, and he'll put it away for the third and final out. A couple flyouts in the inning, but another RBI single from Gavin Dorita. And the 2-0 lead for Bonner. We're headed to the bottom of the third. So far, the Friars once again out to an early lead. Welcome back to Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Here in the PCL Championship, Bonner taking on Ryan, 2-0 lead for Bonner in the bottom of the third at the Camden Athletic Complex, former home of the Camden River Sharks, right here over the bridge in Camden, New Jersey, just a throne's throw away from Philadelphia. And 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Ryan.
Well, this is a big first out for Kowalski. You want to ideally not have runners on base for David Perez coming up next.
Is Victor Cornell, and he'll take the first pitch high. It's 1-0. Cornell, a .347 hitter, 9 doubles this year, stands in from the right side, righty-righty matchup. Kowalski did face 6 batters in that second, so worked around damage. The 1-0 is hit off the end of the bat. Hernandez will fall back. He'll have to make a hard throw. It's short. Diving is Cornell, but he is out. Score the putout 6-3. Hernandez was a little passive on that throw, but made a nice throw. A little passive on that play to charge it. Made a nice throw over there to first. First out here. Here's Dave Perez, again, the player to watch for the Raiders. He's been excellent this year, .446 hitter. Reached on a single in the first. West Virginia commit. And, I mean, I don't say just missed a home run because it was well fouled, but it had the distance.
Yeah.
That ball was crushed in his first at bat. And they'll take the first pitch low.
Like this. If you closed your eyes and listened to that at bat, you would think it was.
You would think it was 500 feet.
The down off his barrel is amazing.
1 ball, no strikes to count. And he stands, too, with kind of his left leg kind of pointed towards third base. And then as he takes his, he picks up his leg when the pitch is coming, brings it together. But definitely a stance that brings him a lot of power. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Yeah, he doesn't have a super high leg kick either. This ball's fouled back. It's 1-2 towards the Bonner dugout. And Kowalski working ahead, looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day for Bonner. And the Friars leading 2-0 here in the PCL Championship. David Spansky alongside Brendan Ricciardi here at the Camden Athletic Complex, home of the Rutgers-Camden Bandits. Swing and a miss. Great pitch there from Michael Kowalski as Dave Perez goes fishing, and there are 2 outs here in the third. Second strikeout of the day for Kowalski. And here is Jake Marchesano coming up with 2 outs. Marchesano rounded into a double play in his first at bat in the first. Pitched 6 2/3 innings yesterday against Wood, got the win. He'll swing at the first pitch, pop it up, shallow left field. The center fielder Lockhart calls off Hernandez. He'll put it away. 1 pitch, 1 out to get Marchesano. And there's a 1-2-3 inning for the Bonner right-hander Michael Kowalski. We're through 3 here in Camden, New Jersey, and Bonner leads Ryan 2-0 in the PCL Championship. Top of the fourth we go here in Camden, New Jersey. 2-0 lead for the Bonner Friars. And Bonner back up to the plate facing Sean Cahill, as it will be Owen Lockhart, Cole Romano, and Joey Grazzani coming up. 6, 7, and 8 coming up for the Friars. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. 2-0 lead for Bonner. Got a run in the first, run in the third, and Kowalski with a 1-2-3 inning there in the third. His first of the day. Outside, it's 1-0.
This lineup really does not have any breaks for opposing pitchers.
Not at all.
I mean, we just need to. I have everything.
How would Ben attack the Bonner lineup as a pitcher?
A lot of changing.
The 1-0 pitch is a little low. It's 2-0. Yeah, a lot of lefties in this Bonner lineup. I mean, you can go up and down the order: Coleman, Friel, Dorita, Lockhart. And I'm sure for Coach DeBarberi that you want to have lefties in your lineup. It really helps kind of, mix it up, if you will. And this pitch is low. It's 3-0 to Lockhart. Lockhart flied out to right in his first at bat. In the second, batting here in the fourth, base is empty. Facing the righty for Ryan, Sean Cahill. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Bonner looking for a leadoff base runner. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. It's 3-1.
Got to add in, there was a great decision by Bonner to get the Kelly green helmets to go with his uniforms for the playoffs. Assistant coach Ryan Tecker told me that they got him particularly for the playoffs, and obviously they was next year. They got him just in time for the playoffs.
Here's the 3-1 pitch from Cahill, and it's low, ball 4. So Lockhart draws a walk here in the fourth, and Cole Romano, the catcher for Bonner, is coming out. Bonner overall this season, 16-6, 7-5 in conference play. But again, you have to remember that Bonner in the beginning of the conference season, some losses put together, but dealing with a lot of injuries. They got Sergio Hernandez back, which was huge for the lineup. And they also have been getting healthier on the mound. Danny Buckton missed a good amount of time with an injury, and he came back. Obviously, has pitched really well in the playoffs. Had a great appearance in the bullpen the other day, out of the bullpen against Father Judge. There's a pickoff attempt over there at first, sliding in safely as Lockhart. So they've gotten healthier and at a good time. The time when you want to be healthy is the playoffs, and Bonner has been so far. First pitch to Romano is popped up foul over our heads. It's 0-1.
You look at this Bonner team. Last year they lost 10 seeds. They lost like the heart of the team. They lost Jackson Keogh, Austin Cannon, Effie Carr, Keaton Michelle, Quinn Bryan, Ursus, like all these guys that have been part of the core for the last couple of years. This is kind of the first year. I would say this is the start of the era. And if there's any indication, these guys are going to be slugging for a couple of years.
Yeah, and it obviously helps when you have a guy like Gavin Dorito who becomes, really steps up, becomes your 4-hole hitter, and has some pop and has really swung it well. But also, you've had great seasons from Ryan Friel, Michael Coleman at the top of the lineup, and the bottom of the lineup has also been producing a guy like Cole Romano, who's been really good so far this season. I mean, 254, but he's hit well over the last couple of weeks and has really done it on both sides of the baseball as a catcher, and that's hit it.
Yeah, and they're really not going to have much to replace the lineup. Michael Coleman's a big loss. Jack Redding and Joey Graziani.
There goes the runner for first, and sliding in, not safely. They're going to hold the tag by Perez. Great tag to throw out Lockhart's. And it was a ball, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Romano, but that really had to be right on the money from Malloy, and it was, but I think it was an even better tag over there at second base.
So was that your jump?
There's now 1 out. I thought he was safe. Brendan, again, it's a little hard to see from our advantage point, but I thought the throw was a little bit towards the short side of the bag. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's outside. It's 2-1 to Romano. It's a big play, though, for Ryan, who really was looking for some momentum, and maybe they can get, a 1-2-3 inning after that.
The time with all the liquor.
Caught stealing attempt there from Lockhart. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here in the top of the fourth. 2-0 lead for Bonner. Cahill's pitch is popped up again out to right field. Fitzgerald, I mean, he has been given every opportunity over there in right field. He'll put it away for the second out here of the third. But Brendan, that is the
I love the color.
4th time I've written a fly ball to right field in the scorecard here in the first 3 2/3 of this ballgame. 2 outs.
It's not easy with all the wind coming his way, kind of pushing everything to his left side.
So 2 outs here in the fourth. 2-0 lead for the Friars. Here's Graziani, your sinus commit. He singled in his first at bat in the second. Cahill working well in the fourth, and there's a strike. It's 0-1.
It's not a strike. In fact,
Yeah.
sorry, that's not a strike. We got first call.
Outside, yeah.
Well,
It's outside.
Only Grant saying outside.
So if you ever go to trivia night and you're playing Brendan Ricciardi trivia, there you go. There's an answer, folks. The 0-1 is hit off the end of the bat over to second. Perez charges, has it, throws the first, is in time to get Graziani. And that caught stealing proved to be a big one there in the fourth. Gets Ryan out of their half of the fourth, and we're headed to the bottom of the fourth inning here in Camden, New Jersey. 2-0 lead for the Bonner Friars in the 2025 PCL Championship. Welcome
Boy,
back. Bottom of the
break your
fourth of the
mic,
PCL Championship. David Spansky alongside Brendan Ricciardi. Bonner, the 6th seed, facing off against Archbishop Ryan. 5 seeds so far. 2-0 lead for Bonner. So we're about to start the bottom of the fourth inning. Mike Polonsky, the right-hander for Bonner, has been really good. 3 innings. Has not given up a run. Has been really good, especially in the first and third inning. Got around some trouble there in the second. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Raiders. Montegro, Laheath, and Cahill coming up for Ryan.
This year?
Was it 9 years ago? I think
Yeah,
like this
okay.
paid off every time. Tournaments because you got the 5 seed and the 6 seed. Throughout the course of the regular season, teams are not always playing as well as they are at the end of the year. Like, Bonner beating a South Fork.
That's for us. We got the game yet?
I don't think
Yeah,
it was expected. I mean, first of all, it was an upset win, but to be to that degree, it's
How do you do
as
that?
well.
How do you do it?
A lot of hits and a home runs too.
Nothing like what they look like. The first couple of weeks of the season.
Here's Montegro, and he'll take one a little bit inside. It's 1-0.
Really got into him, didn't he?
But he,
Montegro reached with a single in his first bat against Polonsky as well. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Polonsky in the first. That one runs outside. It's 2-0.
So the thing about this field is that we'll very easily be able to see any bullpen action because it's on the field.
Yeah, I thought it was actually off to the side. It's batting cages down the right field line. I think both teams' batting cages, if you will, are on the first base side of things. There's also a building behind us that has bathrooms, other facilities. The 2-0 is chopped foul. It's 2-1. And on the third base side of things, there's a track field, a football field, and my car is parked out yonder near the hotel, which I believe that hotel was on the street built in Canada.
I'm okay.
The part of it, 40 years ago, they really revitalized the riverfront here. The 2 lines popped up down the right field line. Frio Graziani's over to give it a look, and it's fouled. It's 2-2. But yeah, I believe all this area here when the River Sharks left probably almost about a decade ago. Rutgers-Camden and rebuilt it up, and really a nice area now. You can walk near the bridge. They have benches, lights. It's a really good facility they built here. We have a third train of the game coming through. The 2-2 is a swing and a miss.
I'm telling you.
Polonsky just seems to be getting better as the time goes on. And that is Polonsky's third strikeout of the game. And there's one out here in the fifth.
Yeah.
We might be our Aces State Championship. Right. Has taken a 2-1 lead on a pistol ball. Tommy Sergio rounded into the field choice for run, and Owen Hammond doubled the score. Sergio directly after.
This ball's lined into right field hard. Backing up is Frio, and it's over his head.
Yeah.
But Heath is going to run for days. He's headed to second. All the way back in the track is Frio. And putting on the brakes at second is Heath. Frio did a good job to get that ball in, but the wind just blew that over his head. He came in a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think he was just a little thinking it was more safety. Kind of had that rise. And with the wind, it just started to tail away from him a little bit. I think he'll tell you he should have caught it, but that was not an easy
No, not at all.
by any means.
With the wind, especially. So here's Sean Cahill. Once again, he's a 102 hitter, but he can really help himself out here. A Singlewood played the first run of the day for Ryan and cut the deficit in half. 2-0 lead for Bonner with one out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah.
Heath is over there at second, and Heath halfway through the cycle. Single and a double.
Jack Frank.
Against Polonsky. And the home run would be very hard to get today unless it's an inside the Parker.
5 different hitters.
First pitch to Cahill is on its way from Kowalski, and it's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Nights and weekends.
Again, Kowalski this season, 0.94 earned on average. That went down a couple of ticks. The 3 shutout innings so far. 37 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, 13 walks. He's really been a good savior, if you will, for an injured pitching staff in the beginning of the year. The 0-1 is low. It's 1-0.
I would eat all the reserves.
Something
before I
that
got
off
out.
season committed
I
to
can't play.
California.
Yes.
I like
Very
when I'm
little
sitting
clutch
down.
experience.
Yeah.
How senior heavy they were.
I wish either way.
I think this year has shown why he has that college baseball ability.
Kowalski will step off the mound. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Maybe we can get a pitch count here. I don't know. Kowalski, I'm sorry, Ben. Take you off tweet duty for a second. 2 balls and 1 strike the count.
Also, Solomano has been a
How about Danny Ben? You know Danny Ben?
Has been blessed with incredible pitching the last couple of years. And Johnny DiMaggio had but
I work 8 boys.
when Ryan
He's in your homeroom too.
Yeah.
Gate,
He
Carolina.
was in my brother's band.
I thought he
46
was.
pitches. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
46 pitches right now for Polonsky. Still plenty of room left to go. So just have to walk step check in there. 2 balls and 1 strike the count with 1 out, runner on second. Again, Ryan's dugout trying to give them a run here. The 2-1 is low, and it's 3-1. Kowalski struggling a little bit here with his command.
I believe the pitch count, so I know that in the regular season it's 100. And then the either play playoffs or district goes into 105. That's the case here.
I think it's 100 because of the fact that Marchesano came out both outings at 100. And then here's a swing and a miss here. It's 3-2. So full count here to Cahill. Runner on second in scoring position. That's Heath. One out here in the fourth. 2-0 lead for Bonner here in the PCL Championship. Both of these teams looking for their program's fifth ever championship title. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Kowalski, and it's chopped on the ground. Kowalski off the mound, tipping with his glove. Graziani has to hurry. He'll get it in time. Score the put out 4-3 to retire Cahill. Moving up to third is Heath. And he's 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the day for Ryan. 2 outs. Pat Fitzgerald coming up to the plate.
Probably. We're looking at rock and roller.
Fitzgerald, a 196 hitter, struck out swinging in his first at bat. And he is the right fielder. He's very busy today for Ryan as we talk. 2 outs here in the fourth.
Our first time at this relocation.
And the first pitch from Kowalski is outside. It's 1-0.
What's his name?
Really? Big opportunity here for Ryan's bottom of the order, which, unlike Bonner's bottom of the order, has struggled this year. They have some guys that are hitting below the Mendoza line.
Big pearls.
Here is the 1-0 pitch, and this one is a little bit low. It's 2-0. And Romano trying to get Kowalski to settle down a little bit here. Runner at third, with 2 out here in the fourth. David Spatsky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Glad you can join us for the PCL Championship. 2-0 lead for Bonner. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and this one is on the outside corner for a strike.
Where do you think
2-1 to Fitzgerald.
I love it. I love it.
I know. Crazy. No, Justinian.
Yeah.
2 balls and 1 strike to count. The pitch home is swung on. He missed. But I believe that got the hand of Romano, and hopefully he's okay. He's in a lot of pain. And staff coach Barry coming out to check on him. I think it's his wrist.
Hope not.
Maybe it might be his thigh. Yeah, 2 balls and 2 strike to count. Both teams will give Romano a minute here. Hopefully he's okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Count even. Runner on third for Ryan here in the bottom of the fourth. The Raiders looking to break through. Ryan scored only 2 runs yesterday against Woods. So their offense trying to find a way to put some runs on the board here in the PCL playoffs.
That's funny you mentioned
These
that.
type of games, man, they love those 4-1
Yep.
against the Eagles as well.
Kowalski's 2-2, pulled, strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. And Kowalski is fired up once again. His first strikeout of the day is a big one. He'll once again dance out of danger here in the fourth.
3 hours.
We played 4 full innings here in Camden, New Jersey, and a 2-0 lead for Bonner here in the PCL Championship. We're headed to the fifth here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel.
Real quickly, we're going to switch over to a different hotspot, so the video may cut out for a sec, but we will come back on with the audio when the inning starts.
There you go. Get in there. Hard play. Follow the ball. Yeah. I think he gave him base automatically, doesn't he? Oh, I thought he got that base automatically when he over for it. Against 9, right? Out of play. Oh, out of play. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. Looks like a leadoff base runner for Bonner here in the top of the 5th inning.
That's Charlie.
Oh.
Charlie was born December 30th.
And here is Sergio Hernandez with nobody out here in the 5th inning. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. 2-0 lead for Bonner here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Working on some video issues again. We'll get that fixed soon here. Looks like it's going to be a mound visit here as Ryan's coaching staff going to talk with the righty Cahill. Bonner has, put up 2 runs today, but Cahill has pitched pretty well. Ryan's offense has struggled to get really much going against Polanski. Jack Brown reaches via the error. He's going to be over there at second base. And back to the top of the lineup, which is talking about really all broadcast long. They can do a lot of damage, and you have to be ready here for Ryan, especially with the leadoff runner in scoring position.
Can't see that. It's not bad. It's too small. I wear my glasses. Now I can see it. That's nice. That looks down, dude.
So here is Sergio Hernandez with a runner on second, nobody out here in the 5th. Bonner looking to extend its lead. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Cahill will step off and look back around over there at second base. Hernandez, a .344 hitter this year. 21 hits. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a ground out. And again, Cahill will step off.
They also have 3 hits that NX.
Hernandez had 70 at-bats this year, 21 hits, 9 RBIs, 6 doubles for Bonner entering today. Here's one. It's popped up third base side, and it's going to go foul towards the Friars dugout. So 1-1 as Hernandez knows how precious that 3rd run could be.
Then he stole.
I don't think so.
No balls and 1 strike to count to Hernandez, the shortstop for the Friars. After the bunt, we'll see if he bunts again. The first baseman, Marchesano, is on the edge of the grass. Monegro is backing up a little bit, so we'll see if he starts to creep in as well. But everybody in the stadium expecting bunt here. We'll see if they get it. No balls and 1 strike to count. K comes set. Hernandez shows bunt again, pulls it back, and takes a strike. On the outside corner, it's 0-2. The runner at second is Brown. Hernandez would love to at least get him over to third base and get him 90 feet away from the 3rd run of the day for Bonner. 2-0 lead for the Friars here at the Camden Athletic Complex here in Camden, New Jersey. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Cahill for Ryan. Comes set, kicks home. It's lined to the left side, and this ball is down. And it's headed towards that. Brown will easily score. Hernandez will pull in a second with a double. And Bonner extends its lead to 3-0.
Ready to go, Bonner!
On the 7th double of the season for Sergio Hernandez, it's a big one, and Bonner has the hat trick in terms of runs. 3-0 lead for the Friars.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the top.
So here's Michael Coleman now, and Coleman will have to extend the lead. So Hernandez actually stopped at first base, so it's a single for him. Runner on first. RBI single there for Hernandez that scores Brown. Showing bunt is Coleman. He'll pull it baback, and it's outside. It's 1-0. 3-0 lead for Bonner. Here in the top of the 5th inning of the 2025 PCL Championship. Glad you could join us. Bonner looking for their first title since 2022. And looking for their 5th overall. Archbishop Ryan's last title, they also have 4 of them, was in 1998. Looking to break what has been almost a 3-decade drought in Northeast Philadelphia. Running from first there is Hernandez, and it was a hit and run once again. Coleman fouls this one back towards the track field, and it's now 1-1.
Ryan beat Bonner in the 1998 semifinal.
No, they did.
That was that decade.
1 ball and 1 strike to count.
That's their last time they won.
Running first there is Hernandez. Bonner again 16-6 overall this season, 7-5 in conference play. A quarterfinal win against Father Judge, a semifinal win against number 1 LaSalle, and now looking to beat Ryan. Throw back to first again here from Cahill, sliding in safely is Hernandez. But so far, the first 2 runners have reached, and that error looms large here in this inning to extend the lead for Bonner. It's an unearned run there against Ryan. Pitch home is in there for a strike. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Coleman. Coleman, again, the left fielder for the Friars. Cloud cover again coming over our heads here in Camden, New Jersey. It's kind of been a mix of sun and clouds, probably more clouds here for most of the game so far. And for the most part of the day, it has been pretty chilly. Temperatures close to 60. Here's a 1-2 pitch. This one's low, 2-2. There goes Hernandez, and he is it. So stolen base there for the shortstop for Bonner. Hernandez will get to second, and the count is even to Michael Coleman. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Ryan Friars, you could argue, has been the team MVP, is on deck for Bonner. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Bonner threatening again. 3-0 lead for the Friars. Cahill comes set. Big lead for Hernandez. Kicks home. This one's lined in the left field. It's second quickly, and it's down in front of Goldberg. Heading to third is Hernandez. He'll go station to station. Had to wait to see if that ball was caught by Goldberg, and it's runners on the corners for the Friars here in the 5th. Still nobody out, Brendan.
Nobody out.
Good hold by Coach P. Barberry at third base there. You don't need to be too aggressive.
Oh,
You have
why
no
not?
outs. Maybe with 2 outs, that's potential send. As it looks like the video is back up and
You know, when
That's
I
great.
play baseball,
We do have bullpen action for Ryan down the line. It's a right-hander warming up for Archbishop Ryan. Hard to see who that is exactly. Possibly
very fair.
Herb Latier,
My dad was fair.
Latier,
Semi-pro football.
junior outfielder and pitcher. Hopefully number 9 is warming up in the bullpen for Ryan.
That's semi-pro. He's very fair.
Nobody out. So Cahill's in some trouble here. Runners in the corners. And now Malloy will call timeout and talk things over before he faces Friel. And this may be some more time to let Lotier warm up down the bullpen.
They get a lot warmer.
As
Tired. Freeze.
Malloy will talk things over with Cahill. Still no movement yet from the Ryan dugout. And it doesn't appear that Lotier is throwing too hard right now, but he may already be warmed up. See if Ryan makes a switch here soon.
Oh, yeah.
Did it?
But right now, it's going to be Cahill versus Friel.
We just slapped.
Friel, the right fielder for Bonner, 0 for 2 today with a couple of fly balls to his counterpart in right field, Fitzgerald. And there goes the runner from first. It's a strike. Malloy will not throw down. Coleman easily will take that one. So second and third, 2 more ducks on the pond for Bonner. Already lead at 3-0 here in the PCL Championship. Bonner's offense continues to click. Scored 14 runs against LaSalle yesterday. Some runs against Cavalcante, too, has been so good this year for the Explorers. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Cahill. This one's lined foul. It's 0-2.
I want to see a home run.
that's what we were talking about earlier, right? With the
Yeah,
bottom of
you know,
the Bonner order being able to get base runners on, and now the meat of the order for the rest.
Runner on second is Coleman. Runner on third is Hernandez. Already a run in this inning. 3-0 lead for Bonner. Nobody out. Here in the 5th. Cahill comes set. Bonner's bench trying to come on. Get him a couple more. Here's the 0-2. And this one is outside. It's 1-2. That one just off the outside part of the plate. The Ryan bench and spectators wanted it. Didn't get it. Post pitch.
It's close, but it was outside.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Friel, 22 RBIs this season. Looking for 23 and 24. The 1-2 pitch is the left field. Is at least going to get 23. 1 run is in. Again, moving station to station is Coleman. Runners on the corners. It's a 4-0 lead for the Bonner Friars here in Camden, New Jersey. Coleman goes to third, Friel's aboard, and that's going to do it for the right-hander Sean Cahill as Lotier is going to be called in from the bullpen. It's a 4-0 lead for Bonner, and Eric Brooks is going to take a long walk out to the mound and take out his righty Cahill here in the 5th. Cahill worked pretty good through the first 4 innings, struggled here in the 5th. The first 4 runners have reached, didn't get any help from his defense as well. And Cahill is going into the dugout. We'll get a nice round of applause. We have a pitching change here at Rutgers-Camden. 4-0 lead for Bonner. They threaten for more to the Friars. Runners in the corners. Lotier is summoned in from the pen after this.
Little
Welcome back to Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Bonner threatening for more. Runners on the corner. There's nobody out here in the fifth. Already a run in, 4-0 lead for the Friars. Glad you could join us. New pitcher for Ryan is Herb OTA. 4.75 earned run average this season for OTA. 17 2/3 of an inning pitch, 21 hits, 13 walks, 10 strikeouts this season for OTA. So a guy that will allow some base runners, walks are fairly high, but also can strike out some batters. And OTA will be summoned here from the pen, and pretty tough situation here. So Cahill was pretty for 4 innings, allowed just 2 runs for Ryan. Got into some trouble here in the 4th. Already 2 runs in, I should say, here in this 5th inning.
Here's the head nut, and it's
And waiting for Lotier to finish up his warm-up tosses. But again, glad you could join us on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. You can also check us out on Twitter at Delco Baseball Now. Ben doing a great job with the tweets, as always, on Instagram at Delco Baseball. Working on getting our video back up and running. Not the best Wi-Fi, but working through it. Great field, great background. Here at the base of the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, just a couple minutes away. Quick drive. So the 4th train about to come through. Quick drive to Philadelphia, right over the bridge.
It's been that big. I never.
And here in the PCL Championship game. There's Gavin Dorita. And if you're Ryan, this is the last guy you want up to the plate right now. Lefty Dorita steps in facing the righty Lotier. Runners on 1st and 3rd. At 3rd is Coleman. At 1st is Friel. Lotier's first pitch to Dorita is high and outside. It's good enough. Dorita this season, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. He's got a single and a double today.
There was a bar with about 12 tables.
Nobody out.
Then the dining room.
Lotier's 1-0. His line crushed in the air out to right field. Again, the wind is going to keep it in the yard. Fitzgerald will make the catch. Tagging from 3rd is Coleman. He'll score easily. And it's a 5-0 lead for the Bonner Friars. First out here in the 5th. With Dorita, a good out, a productive one here against Archbishop Ryan. So here's Jack Redding looking for more. With 1 out, Friel's over there at 1st. Redding today 0 for 2. A pop-up and a fly ball to right field. Lotier looking to stop the bleeding here. 5-0 lead for the Friars. The righty comes set and almost hits. I think it's way inside on a fastball, and it's 1-0.
That's too close.
Yesterday, the wind gusts up to 22 miles.
OTA keeps his glove right at his chest.
Yeah.
As he comes set the righty, gives a look home. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs. It's 2-0 to Redding. Again, runner at 1st is Friel. 5-0 lead for Bonner. Coach DeBarberry talking things over with Redding. Shots down from the 3rd base coaching box. David Chmansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Glad you could join us in the 2025 PCL Championship game. Here is the 2-0 pitch to Redding, and this one is also upstairs. It's now 3-0. Good hitters count coming up. And now Malloy will head out to the mound and have a chat with Lotier. Archbishop Ryan coming into this game with a quarterfinal win against Conwell Egan and a great win, gritty win against the 2-seeded Archbishop Wood yesterday at Maplewood Sports Institute. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Runner at 1st with 1 out. Already 3 runs in this inning for Bonner. Friars lead it 5-0 here in Camden, New Jersey. The 3-0 pitch from Lotier is inside, and this one hit him. There were a couple ones that did run inside. First one just missed him. This one hits him in the ribs. Hopefully, Redding is okay. So there's now runners on 1st and 2nd. Owen Lockhart coming up for Bonner. And this is going to be already the 7th batter to bat in the inning for Bonner, and they just continue to have their offense clicking on all cylinders.
Trying to get out of this jam. I'm trying to add to it.
Lockhart, a 266 hitter, 0 for 1 today, a walk and a flyout.
Sure about that?
Lotier comes set, comes home. This was lined up the middle into center field for a base hit. Friel's going to wave home, and the throw will be cut off by the first of Marciano. And the 6-0 lead for the Friars, and they just continue to click here in Camden. The show goes on here in New Jersey for Bonner. So Friel scores. Redding will move up 90 feet to 2nd. Lockhart with an RBI single. And it's a 6-0 lead for Bonner. Here is Cole Romano. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Romano looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2, facing the righty Lotier. First pitch is way upstairs. It's 1-0, and Lotier really struggling with his command here in the fifth. Top of the fifth inning, Bonner has already scored 4 runs. It's the 8th batter to bat in the inning. Graziani, barring a double play, will make it a bat around.
I mean, this is the key for Bonner. Ryan has been so two-pitcher heavy throughout the year. Being able to get to their pen has been massive.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one again runs inside. Almost hit Romano, and it's now 2-0.
Out, that guy. Get him out.
I wouldn't
Gonna
hit
hurt
some of these
somebody.
Bonner guys, man.
Gonna
They're
hurt
scary
somebody.
spots.
That's him out.
Even like a football game.
No, this is full.
Don't tackle.
My understanding, I believe the winner of this game, I guess both of them play in their respective city championships if Bonner wins. I thought I saw Wednesday.
The 2-0 is upstairs again, and it's now 3-0.
That would be if Bonner wins. They play, I think, Central.
I already drafted him.
Right to have District 12.
Sure.
60 feet section.
That's that.
And you can stay tuned on our social media for all the updated information, as always.
Talk to me nice.
Lotier struggling here in the fifth. 3 balls and no strikes to count. 1 out, runners on first and second. 6-0 lead for Bonner. Lotier's 3-0 is down low, ball 4.
Oh my God.
So a walk here for Romano, a 4-pitch walk. Lockhart heads down to second. Redding led down to third, and the bases are full of Friars. And once again, we're at least going to get a mound visit. There's nobody warming up. So it has to just be a mound visit to try to calm down the righty. Lotier. So we'll take a break here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Bases are loaded full of Friars. And it's the 9th hitter to bat in the inning, Joey Graziani, coming up for the Friars. 6-0 lead for Bonner. We'll be right back after this.
The games. That's what.
Welcome back to Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. The PCL Championship. Our coverage, David Schmansky, Brennan Ricciardi with you here. 6-0 lead. Bonner, new pitcher for Archbishop Ryan. Third of the day, and it's Jack Rock. Rock, just a freshman, summoned today. 4.38 earned run average. He's 1-0 this season. He's only just 8 innings. With 4 walks and 1 strikeout. So not a large sample size to go here, but he's put into a bases loaded situation, filling right into the fire. Bases loaded full of Friars. 4 runs already in this inning. And Joey Graziani is due up for 228 hitter. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a ground out.
I got it.
They're going to get thrown right into the fire.
Got to get ready quick.
I think it's not.
Yeah.
And of course, Ryan's infield is going to come in onto the grass. They're going to do everything they can to cut off this 7th run at the plate. But Bonner's offense, I mean, we've said it, I mean, they are just clicking right now, and everything is hard hit to the gaps. And they're also really doing a great job of getting on base as well.
So they can
So it's a lefty Rock,
put on the rest
and
of
his
it.
first pitch to Graziani is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Man, he tried to kill that.
Rock has a very high leg coming home. Let's keep an eye on if he stays in this game and you can steal bases. Now, I don't know what his delivery would be like if there was an opportunity for that, but a really high leg kick, especially for a lefty. And here is the 0-1 pitch, and this one is inside. It's 1-1.
We put on a walking dragon. Yeah.
6-0 lead for Bonner. Once again, a big cloud coming over our heads. However, this one looks much more threatening than the previous ones did. Well, that's been life in the Delaware Valley the last couple weeks. We were treating 80 degrees in February and 50 degrees in late May. The 1-1 pitch is hit on the ground. To the hole left side for a base hit. One run is in. Bonner again will go station to station as Reading will score. Lockhart goes to third, and it's a 7-0 lead for Bonner.
Unbelievable.
To play their cards right here, they had a couple more. This game could be over very quickly.
Yeah, it could.
Fifth. 10 after 5 minutes. Right?
Now,
So Lockhart will head to third. Romano will get to second. Graziani is over there at first with an RBI single. His second hit of the day.
no.
And now it's Jack Brown, and Brown led off the fifth inning. He reached V and out.
This is Corey Sheridan.
Oh, we're going to have a pinch hitter. It is Corey Sheridan.
Oh, yeah.
Did you go to?
So Sheridan will get an opportunity to hit here, and we've been keeping an eye on him in terms of wise, so that he can just pitch an inning. But the game is 7-0 right now. We'll see if that still stays. Kowalski, though, has been in the dugout for a long time, and Sheridan will check swing at the first pitch, bounce it foul off the knob of the bat.
The last time
So
I
was
saw
one.
Kowalski, I thought I saw he had like a little quarter zip on, but I
Okay.
also don't see anyone else putting him up for Bonner. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
also apologies for the choppiness of the video time. That was not great. I think
They were probably cheering out.
I think we'll be investing in
Yeah.
a little portable hotspot soon.
Here is the 0-1 pitch to Sheridan. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And Rock trying to get his way out of this inning. 5 runs in for Bonner.
Just
Good news is that
relax behind the plate. Oh, yeah?
After just getting them shot to get.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. Rock comes set. His pitch home to Sheridan. Foul back. And it remains 0-2.
I do believe we can hopefully get on the Wi-Fi going over for Tuesday's.
I have faith in Mike Katz.
Right, double.
Like this.
It would be a tough look for you as a Villanova student to not get us on there.
Corey Sheridan, a .250 hitter this year. Bats here in the 9-hole for Jack Brown. Here is the 0-2 pitch. Bases loaded full. Friars called. Strike 3. Good pitch there from Rock. And that is his first strikeout of the game. Sheridan goes down looking. Bases still loaded for the Friars with 2 outs.
Also have confirmation that Tuesday's Chichester and Ocean State's playback game will be played in here.
Squeeze.
Okay.
So almost a home game.
Not far. Here is Sergio Hernandez, shortstop for the Friars. 2 for 3 today. A couple singles and a ground out. 7-0 lead for Bonner. Bases still full of Friars here in the top of the 5th. And the pitch home from Rock is outside. It's 1-0. Temperature still around 60 degrees here, but that dark cloud is threatening us here at the Camden Athletic Complex. Definitely could drop some rain, but yeah, as Ben said, positive thoughts is the mentality. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Rock, lefty, comes set. And his pitch is lined in the left field. That's down for a base hit. 1 run is in. Again, station to station goes Bonner. Lockhart will score. And it is the second hit of the inning for Sergio Hernandez. It's 8-0 Bonner.
Tell you what, now, we talked about how Coach DeBarberi is doing a good job at being a little bit passive in terms of sending runners. I think here is where you're aggressive because a 2-run single here makes it 10-0. You can close this thing out in the bottom of the field.
Yeah, it's an 8-0 lead for Bonner. Bonner looking for their 5th ever PCL Championship title. Will be their first since 2022. Here's Michael Coleman. Coleman 1 for 2 today, a single and a strikeout. Also walked. Lefty-lefty matchup here for Rock on the mound for Ryan. The freshman delivers home, and that one's a little upstairs. It's 1-0. Coleman batting for the 2nd time this inning, the Gettysburg recruit. He singled in his first at-bat, came on the score earlier here in the 5th. Now probably about 20 minutes ago.
How many runs?
That's the block part.
6 runs scored this inning. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Bases still full of Friars. Rock kicks home. This one is on the corner. It's 1-1.
It's number 27.
Yeah, Bonner in this inning has put together, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits.
Offense just relentless.
1 ball and 1 strike to count to Coleman, the left fielder. Bases full of Friars. The 1-1 pitch from Rock is low, and it's 2-1. Ryan Friel is on deck. David Schmansky, Brendan Chardy with you here. Again, glad you could join us. I would say beautiful day for baseball. It was this morning, even though it was more cold.
It's in and out.
Yeah, it comes and goes. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. 8-0 lead for Bonner, and this one's a called strike. It's 2-2. Good pitch there from Rock.
Outside. Yeah, come on. I think he just wants to get this game over.
You can call that on that.
All day, really?
Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Over there at third is Romano. Grisani's at second. Hernandez over there at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. The pitch from Rock is up the middle. Good diving stop by Cornell. He'll tag the bag and get out of the inning. That is a tremendous play by the shortstop, Victor Cornell. And Ryan will keep their hopes alive. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Hard hit ball for Coleman. But we are headed to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's a 8-0 lead for Bonner. We'll be right back here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Ryan didn't get a chance to hit here. Great play, though, by Victor Cornell to end that top of the 5th inning. Bonner scored 6 runs, lasted a little bit more than 20 minutes. And it's 9-1 and 2 up for the Raiders. Aiden Goldberg, Flash Kraswicki, and Victor Cornell.
I don't know if the opening's big enough.
Hitters due up for Archbishop Ryan. Goldberg today, 1 for 1 with a single. David Shapansky with you here on this Saturday, morning, now afternoon, from Camden, New Jersey, here at the Camden Athletic Complex, home of the Rutgers-Camden Scarlet Raptors. Beautiful facility, a baseball field with a football and a track field right behind it. Former home of the Camden River Sharks. Kowalski goes back to work after a long pause there in between innings, and this one just misses, perhaps outside. It's 1-0 to Goldberg. Yeah, long wait. We'll see if that affects Kowalski's command. And the righty delivers the 1-0 pitch, and this one's low. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-0 lead for the Bonner Friars. Again, Bonner looking for its 5th ever PCL Championship title. It's first since 2022. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Kowalski, and there's a strike right down Broadway. It's 2-1.
Really? Wow.
Goldberg again, the left fielder for Archbishop Ryan. In their home red uniforms, kind of a Christmas Day matchup, red and green.
Good.
The 2-1's a little bit outside. It's 3-1.
Bonner was wearing their old uniforms that are more like a midnight, like Eagles kind of green.
Okay.
It would look even more.
I guess you would call it, Kelly green. I guess what you would call it, right?
Yeah.
Here is the 3-1 pitch, and this one way outside. It's ball 4. So Goldberg is aboard for the 2nd time today. And yeah, that's definitely something we'll keep an eye on, is Kowalski's command. I mean, he sat for nearly a half an hour when Bonner was at the plate. And Goldberg will reach with a walk. Here's Flash Kraswicki. It was a couple groundouts to second base in his 2 appearances today. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Thanks for tuning in to our coverage of the 2025 PCL Championship. And if you're in your house, it may be a little smarter decision because it's cold out here. So it may be a smart decision to be watching from your house or work, wherever you might be. Kowalski delivers a strike. It's 0-1 to Kraswicki.
Guess that's the bottom.
Yeah, what a first name, Flash. It's got to be quick, right?
I mean, I wonder if that's a legal first name. It's in Game Changer as Flash.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
It's on the roster as Flash.
Yeah.
No balls and 1 strike to count. Kowalski comes set from the stretch, and this ball is hit on the ground over the short. Diving stop by Hernandez, and his throw will be late. But great jumper by Hernandez to even stop that ball. That one was in the hole in shallow left field. So there's a base hit for Kraswicki, and the Raiders are alive. Here in the 5th, Goldberg heads to 2nd, and here's Victor Cornell, who made that tremendous play in the top half of the inning to get Ryan out of that inning when Bonner just seemed to keep putting up runs.
Yeah, Ryan struggled to swing the bat a little bit. They've been fantastic in the field.
Yeah, and
And you don't want to load bases up with this guy on deck.
Not at all, because he could turn really an 8-0 game into a, grand slam type of game, getting Ryan back into the game with one swing just like that. So here's Cornell. Cornell 1 for 2 today, a single and a ground out. This is a big at bat for Ryan, big inning for them, as they have to put together some type of response. Kowalski delivers a strike. It's 0-1.
We are seeing Corey Sheridan start to get loose in the bullpen here. What a story that would be if he can close it out for his first pitch.
I don't know how many innings. It seemed like one inning was kind of the base from Coach DeBarberi. We'll see if that is the case. The 0-1 sit on the ground. Redding will tag the bag at third, has a strong arm. He will smartly decide not to throw that ball. So Goldberg is out at third. It's the second. Cornell will reach on the fielder's choice. And there's one away here in the bottom of the fifth. 8-0 lead for Bonner.
Yep, Reds here for 2. Single to second in the third inning.
Here is Dave Perez. Perez 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout in his last at bat. Takes this one low. It's 1-0. Going to West Virginia again is, we talked about a little bit off air, had some injury issues, so kind of moved as a pitcher, third base, and moved to second, but his bat really play anyway. There's the 1-0 pitch from Kowalski, and there's a strike. It's 1-1. Jake Marchesano is on deck for Ryan. Fifth train of the day, moving by. On one strike out, runner at second is Chris Wicke, runner first for now. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Perez, swing and a miss. Got him swinging in the dirt there, and it's 1-2. Perez a little fooled on that breaking ball by Kowalski. Again, is really a guy that likes to pitch to contact, doesn't strike out a whole lot of batters, but finds a way to really hit the corners and limit the damage. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Kowalski comes set the 1-2 to Perez as a fastball that runs high. It's now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Perez in his first at bat, crushed one, foul down the third base line, past the Bonner dugout into what I believe is the parking lot for the hotel next door. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Ryan out here on the fifth. The 2-2. It's in the ground foul down the third base line. Shot past Jack Redding, and it remains 2-2.
Yeah, nice job by our guy protecting the bullpen out there. But it looks like Corey Sheridan might have this next inning.
Right there's a netting over there, like
Trying to
just
check our video. Half inning here.
you have to
2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Dave Perez. Runners on first and second with 1 out. It's a 8-0 lead for the Bonner Friars here in the PCL Championship on this Saturday afternoon. Kowalski kicks home the 2-2, chop foul again down the third base line. Redding again gives it a look, remains 2-2.
Tell you what I'm getting right here.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count, bottom of the fifth. Archbishop Ryan, the 5 seed, Bonner, the 6 seed. Kowalski comes set. The 2-2 pitch is chopped again at the plate. They have gotten a piece of Perez, or maybe even the catcher Romano, and it remains 2-2.
Yeah, and it's almost like the monster Finley, except black monster and the other side of the house.
David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Glad you could join us. And we'll get a time here as Cornell will tie his shoe over there at first base. He's ready to go, so are we.
That's in left field. This wasn't right field.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Here in the PCL Championship. 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Perez, and it's chopped again on the ground. This one is going to head foul. Redding will pick it up, and it remains 2-2. Good battle here from Dave Perez.
On the fifth.
Yeah, truly one of the best backdrops in baseball.
This is.
Yeah, the bridge behind you, especially over left field. The skyline is over the third base dugout. You can see it very well from the first base line. You can't really see it from home plate.
I've never seen this before.
And here is the 2-2 pitch. Kowalski kicks home, and this one is outside. Good stop by Romano. Pump things back to second. We'll hold on to it. It's a full count, 3-2.
I heard
To Perez, the second base. Archbishop
I
Ryan.
can go again. They played in the independent league
They're not playing anymore, right?
about 20 years ago.
20 years.
Kowalski looking to get through 5. He's been awesome today for Bonner. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Runners on first and second with 1 out. The 3-2 pitch to Perez is chopped again, foul, and the at-bat continues. Has to at least be around 10 pitches by now, and it remains full 3-2.
No, not at all. So So they have no sign.
No concession on that.
That's something off.
They get empty hands for all the soccer players. Like that.
Coming up here on 1 o'clock in a little bit. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Kowalski steps up. Throw back to second is close. Got him!
Oh, that's
A pickoff attempt from Michael Kowalski and a wonderful place tag by Graziani.
that's
I mean, that was perfectly read by Bonner. So Chris Ricky picked off now 2 outs.
that's kicked in the ass right there.
What a pickoff. That was really set up by Graziani. He was there, made sure that Kowalski knew about it, and what a throw on the money. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Perez. Runner goes to first, and it's a swing and a miss. Kowalski gets Dave Perez for the second time today. And we're through 5 innings here in Camden, New Jersey. It's an 8-0 lead for Bonner. And the Friars bats will go back to work here in the 6th. Top of the 6th here in Camden, New Jersey, the PCL Championship 2025 edition. David Chmansky, Brennan Ricciardi with you. Glad you can join us here on our YouTube channel and social media. 8-0 lead for Bonner here in the top of the 6th. 3, 4, and 5 up for the Friars. Ryan Friel, Gavin Dorita, and Jack Redding. And Brendan, we haven't talked about it too much, but no team has ever won technically 3 game weeks. Bonner, perhaps a couple runs and 3 outs away from doing so.
Does this count as a game, please? That's the question.
Oh, we have one this week, and the next one's on Tuesday. I think so. There's a strike. It's still 1 to Friel. Friel singled in his last at bat in the 5th as Bonner sent 11 hitters to the plate. This one's whacked foul. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Friel. Again, Jack Rock, the freshman, is back out for his 2nd inning of work. Came in relief there in the 5th. The freshman lefty for the Raiders. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Friel. Kicked home, and this one again is popped up down the left field line. Goldberg chases. So does the shortstop, who is Cornell. And this one heads just outside of the bullpen area. Remains 0-2. Foul ball from Friel. Our next game, Radnor on Tuesday.
I think these kids.
And who's Radnor playing again?
They're going upper double. Same
Upper double. 4 p.m. We'll cover for you.
Better than we were when we were
From Villanova University.
Why is that?
Villanova's field.
The bats. The bats.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Friel, a 459 hitter entering today, a single and a couple fly balls, 1 for 3. It's Friel, the right fielder for Bonner. And the 0-2 pitch from Rock is a curveball whacked up the middle into center field for a base hit.
Yeah.
And Friel has a single here in the 6th.
Got to admit, right back.
I'll bring up Gavin Dorita. Dorita has a couple of RBIs today, halfway to the site. We'll see him double against Archbishop Ryan.
Yeah.
Brendan Ricciardi with you here again. Saturday afternoon, that dark cloud that was a bus has moved on without any rain. It's now behind us, heading more towards I guess you would say central New Jersey. That's not a thing. Of course, people from New Jersey come that. I don't know if it is or not.
That's probably why.
In the major leagues,
Yeah, I don't know what's so bad about it. It calls
They're good.
yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I'm aware.
Never watch play basketball.
Here's Gavin DeRita, lefty-lefty matchup. Nobody out, runner on first here in the top of the sixth. Rock kicks home, and there's a strike. It's 0-1.
playing the NBA today.
Yes.
Over 7.
I don't think I've ever had Taylor Hand.
in the NBA today.
Pork roll is okay.
It's the same thing. They just, it's
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same
Got
thing.
it.
It's just
But it's just a name.
You're a dog. That's what you are, a dog.
The 0-1 is popped up in the left field. Coming in is Goldberg, and he'll make the catch in the alley for the first out. DeRita is retired.
Yeah.
Came back twice.
There's one part of one way, one part of
Came back twice.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right.
I think I would call pork roll,
Well, number
but I guess it's because we're posting in South Jersey.
God.
Well, I guess it's like Jimmy's or sprinkles, but in a way. So,
Yeah, you think you got to say.
all right.
Okay.
That conversation, of course, I'm sure many people are thrilled about. There's one out here in the sixth. Here's Jack Redding, the whole family commit. I'll take one low. It's 1-0. DeRita started and stopped. I'm sorry, Friel started and stopped. Dave Trubetsky, Brendan McCharty with you here. 8-0 lead for Bonner here in the 2025 PCL Championship. Bonner, if they were to hold on in this game, would win their first PCL title since 2022 and their fifth in program history. And in playoff games, Archbishop Ryan has had Bonner's number over the years, so Bonner looking to perhaps get a little closer to even. Pitch here is upstairs. It's 2-0 to Jack Redding. Redding today, 0 for 2. Fly out a pop-up and hit by pitch in his last at bat. Runner at first is Friel, one out in the sixth.
Tom's good.
Rock, the freshman, comes set. The lefty 2-0 pitch is dropping in for a strike. It's 2-1.
Tom McCarthy.
Probably. I could probably.
Again, there is a scoreboard here in left center. It's not on.
Between innings.
That doesn't surprise us the whole lot. I don't even know where they would run the scoreboard operation. I guess above us. The 2-1 pitch is upstairs. It's 3-1 to Jack Redding. Yeah, and we get the sun coming out here in the sixth. A little opposite of what happened yesterday in Bonner's game against LaSalle. The rain started in the sixth, and now we get really our first true taste of pure sunshine here in Camden, New Jersey today. We're on first, and the 3-1 pitch is swung on and crushed. Hit in the air to left field. Goldberg heading back, and he'll make the catch to the left center field alley. Way to track it down from Goldberg. Having to race back to first as Friel gets over his head. That would have been probably a double play if it was a little more on the money. And there are now 2 outs. A great throw from the relay, and Goldberg with a great catch in front of that scoreboard that's not on.
I also say with no weight that ball in the game.
And there are now 2 outs. And here's Owen Lockhart here in the sixth, 8-0 lead for Bonner. Left field. Owen Lockhart today 1 for 2, a single, a fly out, and a walk. He's had a good day. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Hard hit balls from DeRita and Redding. Both of them right to the left fielder Goldberg, and this one is above the head of Lockhart. It's a ball, 1-0. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here again. So glad you could join us here on our Delco Baseball Now. Don't necessarily want to say game of the week, but close enough. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Friars trying to get to that 10-run threshold, I should say. The one that's low.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not in the dictionary. I may have to copyright that.
It's a bench hold. It's next.
Possibly. I think thresh mark sounds better.
I like
it a word.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's better than threshold. All right, I'm gonna get some shirts. We'll sell them.
Get the trademark in if you can.
Here's the 2-0 running from first is Friel. It's upstairs 3-0. This ball is going to head into center field. Good backup there by Perez. Friel's at second. It's a 3-0 count to Owen Lockhart, the center fielder for Bonner. Bonner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. Timeout here. Looks like Friel going to either tie his shoe, maybe fix his pant leg. Actually, the shakeout looks like one of his feet might have been a little injured on that play.
I think we're running for him here.
We are going to get a runner coming in here. That is number 9. Albarano is going to come in. Luke Albarano going to run for Friel. Hopefully he's okay. He looks a little injured perhaps as he's heading back to the dugout. Looks to be in some pain. Hopefully Friel's okay.
The good news is if they win this game, they have off, I believe, until Wednesday.
Okay.
and Wednesday they'd have off until the following Monday. So hopefully something minor. Looks like Jack Redding's going to throw now.
Friel at second. Lockhart ahead in the count, 3-0, 2 out here in the top of the sixth. Rock, the lefty, takes a deep breath, upset. It's 3-0, is in there for a strike. 3-1. Lockhart thought it was a little low. Home plate umpire calls it a strike. It's 3-1.
Yeah, he wants to swing.
Yeah, I think so. Lockhart has had a good day at the plate, trying to extend that. 3 balls and 1 strike count. Rock comes set. And his 3-1 pitch is popped up a mile high. This one truly is. Heading towards the Ryan dugout. I think it's out of play, and it is. It's 3-2. Full count to Owen Lockhart, a 266 hitter entering today's contest.
Oh, we got a school thing. Oh, yeah.
Lockhart, 77 at bats this year. 12 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers for Owen Lockhart.
Why don't you use it?
Batting 6th today for Bonner. Here's the full count pitch. This one outside, ball 4. And Lockhart will head down to first. And here's Cole Romano with runners on first and second. Asked for a pitch outside. And courtesy runner at second is Romano.
I'm not sure if we'll see Jack Redding start this next inning, but I imagine he's next. I think it would be kind of risky to throw for Sheridan out in a game where, you know, he's out of hand a little bit. So I would expect to see him potentially start this thing.
Yeah, I'm curious how many pitches Kowalski has through 5. And here is Cole Romano facing the lefty Rock, and this one's upstairs. It's 1-0.
This kid's
David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. First and second for Bonner. Friars lead it by 8 here in the top of the 6th. And the 1-0 pitch from Rock is upstairs. It's 2-0.
We always jump.
Fifth batter to bat in the inning here is Romano. 2 outs. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Here in Camden, New Jersey, just over the river. From Philadelphia at the base of the Ben Franklin Bridge. Here's the 2-0 pitch. This one foul back. It's 2-1. I think that's one of the first baseballs that we actually have hit that netting today. We haven't had too many. I know when we were setting up for our equipment, a little worried about the netting, but
right. No, we always had
so far so good. 2 balls and 1 strike to count.
It wasn't much, and it wasn't any extra.
Yeah, where we are behind the plate, a very low fence and then a large net above us that extends all the way down the lines. Really no open area here. The 2-1 is swung on and missed. And it's 2-2. Romano pulled there from Rock, and it's now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second is Alvarado. Runner at first is Lockhart. Cole Romano, the catcher at the plate with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. In the PCL Championship, Bonner, the 6th seed, taking on the 5 seed, Archbishop Ryan. And here's the 2-2 pitch. This one's lined up the middle off the leg of Rock. The second baseman, Perez, has it, and he will tag the bag. Hopefully Rock is okay. Perez will get the final out of the inning. So Bonner does send 5 batters to the plate. Friars do not score. But to the bottom of the 6th, it's an 8-0 lead. The Friars here at the Camden Athletic Complex.
These are 60 feet.
Yeah.
Bottom of the sixth inning here in Camden, New Jersey. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Michael Kowalski going back to work here in the bottom of the sixth to face the Ryan lineup. 74 pitches. Kowalski, keep an eye on him. 4, 5, and 6, the meat of the order up for Ryan. Marchesano will lead things off for the Ryan offense. Over 2 today with the double play. Rounded into a double play and a fly out to left field in his last at bat. Third at bat of the day, third time through the order for Kowalski. 8-0 lead for Bonner. Kowalski back to work. Through the windup, and the first pitch here is a strike to Marchesano. It's 0-1. Marchesano, a .323 hitter, a Delaware commit. Has pitched over 13 innings in the PCL playoffs, allowed just a run, but not going to pitch today through 100 pitches yesterday against Wood. This ball's hit well out to left field, but camping under it is Pullman, and that will be the first out here of the sixth. Perfectly placed there was Michael Pullman.
And
1 out.
has never been the favorite in any of these games.
Here is Fabio Monegro coming up for Ryan. Monegro is 1 for 2 today with a strikeout
Number 3 seed
and a single.
and then number 1 seed.
Still won't be. They go by.
And there's a strike. It's 0-1.
Go by the playoffs. They go by your regular.
They're
season.
back on the bullpen mound for Bonner. They've been kind of going back and forth between having him and Redding.
Regular season for
I know
that.
for
Maybe the story would be the 0-1 strike. Kowalski gets you through the 6.
I said that.
It's going to be hard to take him out if he's on 100 pitches with how good he's pitched. Maybe the Sheridan storyline, close out the game, make the
I
championship.
think a big reason is with great.
0-2 is hit on the ground over to third, pass to diving Redding into left field. Coleman is going to get it in the gap, or in the, I should say, towards the corner. Heading to second is Monegro, and he is
Oh my
out.
God!
What a throw there from the left fielder. Coleman, he had trouble getting the baseball. Monegro was stumbling kind of around first base, and he is thrown out. And there are 2 outs here in the sixth. And, you know, if you're Ryan, really, you're down by 8. You're probably stop at first base there and get any base runner you can get.
It was also a perfect relay, and honestly, I thought he might have gone out of play. I thought he might have hit the bleacher in the bullpen over there, but it's still live apparently. They took a perfect relay and they got it.
Well, with 4 umpires today, you would think that that would be closely examined. 2 outs, and this pitch is a little bit inside. It's 1-0 to Laheath. Laheath, a .294 hitter, and he is halfway to the cycle as well. 2 for 2, single and double. Dark clouds begin to roll over our heads once again. The 1-0 is strike. It's 1-1. Kowalski just across 80 pitches here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
I think it would mean a lot to Jared to be able to close this out because he wasn't eligible for the state playoffs last year because he transferred in to Louisiana. He would be this year if they were.
I don't have
1-1 is fouled down the left field line, and it's 1-2 to Laheath. Kowalski looking for
Hold on.
really a 1-2-3 inning after being thrown out there.
My name yet?
So
I think
1
that-
ball and 2 strikes the count.
6
Kowalski 1 strike away from sending it to the 7th. The 1-2 chopped on the ground, foul past Jack Redding, and it remains 1-2.
6.
Kowalski has been as good as advertised today. Entered today's contest with an ERA of below 1. He hasn't given up a run so far today here against Ryan, and Ryan's offense has struggled at times this year. Team by their pitching and their defense, and how good Marchesano has been this year. Here is the 1-2 pitch, and this one again is chopped foul, and a couple of bounces past Redding into the third base coaching box, and it remains 1-2.
How many choppers did he basically?
A lot. And I think a lot of them have been hit by Ryan batters, really down the third base line. David Chvansky, Brennan Ricciardi with you here at the Camden Athletic Complex, former home of the Camden River Sharks. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. It's even. It's 2-2.
Yeah, pretty well. And not much gets past Cole Bonner behind the plate. There's
No.
a brick wall back there.
She doesn't even.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Kowalski stares in at Romano. It's the sign. Bonner's bench clapping, and the 2 is called. Called strike 3. I think they called it a check swing. They called it a check swing at Laheath, and the first base umpire rung up Laheath. It is the 6th strikeout of the day for Kowalski, and it's a big one.
I've never seen it make
That's
that
crazy.
movement before right after a pitch.
And we're headed to the 7th inning, top of the 7th, 8-0 lead for Bonner. Final opportunity at the plate for the Friars after this here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Bonner 3 outs away from a PCL Championship title. We'll be back after this.
Back here for the top of the seventh, Joey Graziani leads things off. Dave will be right back. That one's up and away to Graziani. He's got 2 singles today. 2 for 3, looking for third hit of the game. Where Sheridan waits on deck. I think there's a good chance we can see Sheridan pitch at some point in the 7th. Montgomery, you check the pitch count here. See how much full wants he has left in the tank.
And they give you a break. That's a guy.
Really?
The always do. You get soup to nuts.
Pitch count will typically in the district playoffs, the Piata Blake goes up to 105. So that's 8-6. All right. If he can get out of 14 pitches, I gotta think we'll see.
Nah. I worked enough. I worked 2 jobs at the tire. Like, that cleaner is out of here.
Louis work?
She just got retired 3 years ago. And now we got our brains. Bad environment.
How's he doing now?
Great.
Graziani will have a walk to lead off the 7th. And Corey Sheridan did bat that last inning, and it does look like it is Corey Sheridan. David Pensky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Again, glad you could join us. 8-0 lead
Thank you
for Bonner here in the PCL Championship game. Here at the top of the 7th, Jack Rock back out to work for Ryan, and there goes Graziani. Pitches a strike. Throw down is not in time. Graziani has a on base. He's on base for the 3rd time today. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Corey Sheridan, who struck out looking in his only at bat today as he came in for Jack Brown back in the 5th inning.
Going with a friend of mine. It's kind of like the older brother.
So runner in scoring position for Bonner.
Testing Ryan Raiders.
1 ball and no strikes to count. Rock comes set, and this one's fouled back. Right next to us on the first base side of things. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
But that here, it's much nicer. You know, it's not saying because and then it goes all the way down.
Yeah.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. On deck is Sergio Hernandez. Rock comes set, looks back, the runner at second, and delivers home. This one is fouled back off the end of the bat, and it becomes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did that ball make its way out of the net? Wow. Some high net as well.
Yeah.
And it did something down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right behind us is street parking, and there really is no parking lot necessarily for the Camden Athletic Complex. There's the 1-2 pitch, and this one is a little bit hot. It's 2-2. Malloy turned around to the home plate umpire, asked where that one was. Apparently a little hot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Runner at second is Graziani. Your sign is commit. Corey Sheridan is the batter. Righty facing the lefty Rock. Nobody out.
How old's your kid?
8-0 lead for Bonner. You're in the top of the 7th. And the 2-2 pitch from Rock is called. Strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. Second strikeout of the day for Jack Rock. Both of them have been via Corey Sheridan. And there's 1 away in the 7th.
Where do they live? They're doing okay?
Love it.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'll bring up the shortstop, Sergio Hernandez, who has been excellent this season for Bonner. Battled some injury issues in the beginning of the season and has just really been red hot. He has 3 singles this game. And there's a ball. It's 1-0. Hernandez 3 for 4 today, 3 singles and a ground out. Also has a couple RBI. Has also scored a run 2 times today. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Runner at second is Graziani. Rock comes set, looks back Graziani. And after a long pause, kicks home. There goes Graziani. It's a strike. And boy, really had no chance there. Great jump from Graziani. It is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Hernandez. 1 out, and Bonner looking to get their 9th run of the game.
At third base, don't want to make this deficit 9.
Michael Coleman on deck. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Runner at third is Graziani. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Rock, and this one is popped up. Not 100% sure where that is behind us. It's 1-2.
That was very good. Include minutes. 2 balls quickly go.
I think that had to go out of the netting behind us. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Joe Hernandez, the lefty for Ryan, comes in, and the pitch is upstairs. It's 2-2. Count even. Over there, third is Graziani with 1 out after Corey Sheridan struck out. See if Sheridan perhaps pitches the 7th. Kolonsky has to be somewhere around 90 pitches. Had a really good sixth inning, did Kolonsky. And this one is outside. It's now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Hernandez. 1 out here in the 7th. Coach DeBarberi asking what the count is. And the home plate umpire. 2. Third is 1 out. Top of the 7th. 8-0 lead for Bonner. And 3-2. Again foul. Swing there from Hernandez, and it remains 3-2.
Let me just feel like that.
Hernandez is a switch hitter, which is definitely a good thing to have. Good skill.
I don't think I knew that, actually.
Well, he batted from the left side, I believe, to lead off the game. That's correct.
I don't think so, but I could.
No, he didn't? Okay. It's been a long day. Maybe it's been a long day. 3-2's upstairs. Ball 4. So Hernandez is aboard.
Good eye, good
The
eye.
runners on the corners. Couple walks in this inning for Rock. And Michael Coleman's coming up. Runners on the corners with 1 out.
You got enough lefties that
Yeah, they probably don't need a switch. Yeah, you're right. He has been better. I apologize. Long day. Long day.
Still see that.
Coleman, 1 for 3 today. Single and a walk. Coleman, the left fielder. Gettysburg commit. And Rock's first pitch to Coleman is outside. It's 1-0. Somehow the wind has gotten worse here this inning. To be honest, but
I got to see them
picked up.
I can't.
Brendan Ricciardi with you here again. Glad you joined us here on Baseball Now YouTube channel. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Rock with 1 out of the 7th. 1 runs outside. It's 2-0, and Rock kind of came off the mound a little weird there. Might have been a little frustrated with himself.
That's all it takes.
2-0.
You can fly on 95.
Maybe you'd be a little faster going home, but 676.
I got to see this to the end. I'm not going home with this. I came here to watch.
2 balls and no strikes to count. Rock taking a long time to get back on the mound. The lefty steps on.
I want to see.
And here is the 2-0 pitch
I want to see them sell
to Coleman.
field today.
I want to see them lift up.
After a long pause, there's a strike. It's 2-1.
All I need is
the video is going in and out. At least we can say the audio has been great.
Yeah, working very crisply here, which is great. The home of Rutgers-Camden.
Like the Scarlet Knights. Maybe the branch school is the Raptors.
That's a good point. Yeah. Well, I'm just reading the sign. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Coleman. This one's outside. It's 3-1. Hernandez started and then stopped. Hernandez is a first. Graziani is still over there at third. He's been there for a time. Trying to extend its lead. 8-0 lead right now for the Friars. Good hitters count. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Coleman. Ryan Friel, the right fielder, is on deck.
Has 2 seasons on this team. They were 8 wins.
Rock comes set.
Number 11, Jake.
Whoops back. Hernandez at first. And the 3-1 is popped up. This one should stay in play. And the third baseman, Monty Groh, is over. He'll make the catch in front of the Friars dugout. And that is the 2nd out of the inning. And Rock and Ryan will take that. 2 outs. Here's Ryan Friel.
Over 60 innings pitched.
Before we had
Ryan Friel, the right fielder for Bonner, a 459 hitter, entering today, 22 RBIs. At 23, got an RBI earlier. There goes Hernandez, who will head down to first. The runners on 2nd and 3rd. It's strike called to Friel. It's 0-1. Dave Pansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Again, glad you could join us. The big story is who comes out in the 7th. Is it Kolonsky or is it Sheridan? The 0-1 is hit in the air pretty well to left field. Goldberg follows the wind, and it blew him a little bit too close to the line. It drops in for a base hit. 1 run will score. I'm not sure why Hernandez didn't score there with 2 outs. But heading to 2nd is Friel. So the wind definitely helped out there. As coming in to score is Graziani. It's 9-0 Bonner. And there's runners on 2nd and 3rd. Here's Gavin Dorita with a chance to extend the lead to 10.
I mean, I know that, but you know.
So Dorita steps in from the left-handed batter's box. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Rock against Dorita. Runner 2nd is Friel. Runner at 3rd is Hernandez. With 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And this one's low. It's 1-0 on the first pitch to Dorita.
pictures out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Good crowd still on hand here. Both sides. Ryan down the first base line. Bonner on the third base side. Of course, the Friars faithful has been great all year long, hoping to see their team get the final 3 outs and win the championship. Here is the 1-0 pitch. This one's way upstairs. It's 2-0 to DeRita. Jack Redding is on deck. There is a base open over there at first base.
Base on that error.
Well, I'm going to leave.
All right,
To
dude.
be with you today.
Good, buddy.
9-0 lead for Bonner.
Congratulations.
You're in the top of the 7th inning.
Again.
Yeah.
Here on our Delco Baseball Now YouTube channel. Again, glad you could join us. Thank everybody for tuning in. Still a lot left to go. The 2-0 upstairs, and it's now 3-0 to DeRita. Again, there is a base open over there, but a lefty-lefty matchup. Redding, the righty, is on deck for Bonner.
Yanni going for Sinus. So I do Lansky, the pitcher going to Alberta. Edward Coleman going to Gettysburg.
Great hitters count. Here's a 3-0 pitch to DeRita, and this one is called strike on the corner. It's 3-1.
Isn't he? Yeah.
DeRita today, 2 for 4, a single, a double, and a couple flyouts. It's gotten very quiet here at the Camden Athletic Complex. Here is the 3-1 pitch, and this one is low, ball 4. So that is the third walk in the inning that Rock has allowed, and the bases are now loaded for the Friars. And here is Jack Redding, who's looking for his first year today. And he is one of only 3 hitters in the Friars lineup that has not gotten a hit today. Good opportunity here for Redding. Has been really good all year for Bonner, batting in that 5 hole. This one's upstairs. It's 1-0.
There's gotta be more pitcher.
Redding going to Holy Family.
And like you said, this is
Not far away from Archbishop Ryan, ironically. A little bit of a drive from Bonner. 1 ball, no strikes to count. 9-0 lead for Bonner. 1 run in this inning. Bases are full of Friars. In the top of the 7th, Rock comes set. The 1-0 is low. It's 2-0. Yeah, Rock just a freshman out there, and he's really been thrown into the fire for Ryan to try to eat up some of these innings.
They can't find a pitcher that's. They just put out the infield.
2 balls and no strikes to count. Rock
Seriously.
comes set. Looks home.
1 bullpen catcher and 2 pitchers over there.
And the 2-0 pitch to Redding is in there for a called strike. It's 2-1.
Usually the good pitchers,
And
they're not. They're in the outfield. They
Good side.
favor the stars.
Their pitcher right now is a freshman, getting experience, just have to make the chip game. I believe that's why they don't have anybody sitting up front.
3 balls and 1 strikes, or 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Redding. Rock
Keep a
comes set with the bases of full Friars. 2 outs. 2-1 is in there for a strike. It's 2-2.
freaking ball.
Sorry, it is. I did have it right. It was 3-1. It's now 3-2. Count. Bases full of Friars. 9-0 for Bonner. Rock, the lefty, freshman, comes set. And his payoff pitch to the third baseman is inside, clip the shoulder, ball 4. And that will walk in a run on the hit by pitch. As coming in to score for Bonner is Hernandez. Friel will head down to third. DeRita up second. And it's now a 10-0 lead for the Friars as Owen Lockhart steps up to the plate. And looks like we're going to get a mound visit here. I don't think it's a pitching change. I don't know if Ryan has anyone else to go to. So we'll take a break here on our Delco Baseball Now YouTube channel. Bonner's offense has scored 24 runs in the last 13 innings of baseball. We'll take a break and be back after this here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Welcome back to Camden, New Jersey, here in the PCL Championship. 10-0 lead for Bonner. We have a new pitcher for Ryan. It is Victor Cornell, who was the shortstop for Ryan, is now going to be on the mound. We'll tell you about him. He hasn't pitched a whole lot this year. He has a 21.00 earned run average. He has pitched in 1 inning, has allowed 3 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Opponents are hitting .500 against this season. But again, Ryan, with Marchesano going yesterday and Cahill starting today, their pitching depth is not exactly a long list. So Cornell is going to be put into action here with the bases loaded, full of Friars. 2 outs here in the 7th. And it's a 10-0 lead for Bonner. Owen Lockhart will be the first to face Cornell. I'm not sure if Rock went to shortstop, but we will have a new shortstop as well if Cornell coming in to pitch. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Bonner on the pitching side of things, 3 outs away from their first championship since 2022 and their 5th ever in program history. A lot of the fans, of course, have stuck around here to see Bonner win the championship. Cornell going to finish up a few more warm-up tosses here on a Delco Baseball YouTube channel. That will give us time to talk about our next game on Tuesday as Ryan will play, or I'm sorry, Ryan. Radnor, who are they playing again? I'm sorry.
Upper Dublin.
Upper Dublin. I'll get it right, I promise. 4 p.m. Our coverage will start around 3:55, 3:50. From Villanova Ballpark at Plymouth Meeting. We'll have coverage for you. And, of course, on our social media at Delco Baseball on Instagram, some great content. And Ben, of course, doing a great job on Twitter, as always, at Delco Baseball now. You can follow us. All right. Looks like we're ready to go. Now, Owen Lockhart, the lefty, steps in for the Friars. Again, the new pitcher is Cornell. I'm not sure who the shortstop is. It's hard to see from this vantage point. But there is a new shortstop in the game.
I think he came from right field, the guys.
Yeah, I think the pitcher ones are right.
Okay, so Rock might be in right. Fitzgerald might be a shortstop. What we're getting right now. First pitch from Cornell is low. It's 1-0. Lockhart has been on base 3 of the 4 times today. He has a couple walks. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. 1 ball, no strikes to count. At third is Real. At second is Dorita. Redding was hit by a pitch, got an RBI. He's over there at first. 10-0 lead for Bonner. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Cornell, and this one's upstairs. It's 2-0.
Yeah. Can't believe it. They're doing exactly.
Cornell comes to that.
Another player in from the insert.
Righty delivers. The 2-0 is on the corner. It's 2-1.
Yeah.
David Schmansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. The 5th at bat of the day for Lockhart. 2 outs here in the 7th. 10-0 lead for Bonner. Here is the 2-1 pitch. This one is inside, almost hit Lockhart. It's now 3-1.
Big update from the PCL State Championship. Malvern won their 12th as they took down Episcopal 6-1.
Wow. Congratulations to Malvern. Episcopal, though, really good season. It's going to be fun to watch them over the next couple of years. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Here's a pitch from Cornell. This one's chopped to the ground over to second. Perez has it. Throws to Marchesano at first. And we are headed to the bottom of the 7th. Bonner is 3 outs away from a PCL Championship. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Ryan. We'll be right back after this here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. You don't want to miss it, Delaware County. We'll see you in about 90 seconds. Welcome back to Camden, New Jersey, and the storyline is set. The 10-0 lead for Bonner. They're 3 outs away from their 5th ever PCL Championship title. And for the first time this season, Corey Sheridan will take the mound. He's battled some injury issues this year, and he has the chance to be on the mound and close out the championship win for Bonner. 7, 8, and 9 do up for Ryan. Sean Cahill, Pat Fitzgerald, Aiden Goldberg. I know Brendan, we talked to Coach DeBarberi earlier, said probably about an inning, and this is, would be an inning for him. But, I mean, when you look at a lot of things considered, I mean, Sheridan, what should you expect from him? I mean, obviously the injury issue, but, I mean, he really won his best.
Yeah, I'm sure exactly. Like I think it was probably somewhere around 90, 92. But the off-speed stuff, that it's going to be electric regardless of what it's lost.
I'm sure if you're Ryan, right, you're down by 10, and you see Corey Sheridan take the mound for the first time this season. We'll see what the Raiders can put together here in the 7th. Again, Sean Cahill was scheduled to hit. We will have a pinch hitter, of course, because Cahill did pitch and then was removed from the game. So we'll get an update there. Looks like number 15, that's Jack Brock. Pitch, freshman, lefty. So Jack Brock will lead it off for Ryan. And then Pat Fitzgerald, Aiden Goldberg are the 2 scheduled hitters. David Spansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. From Camden, New Jersey, and we're going to get perhaps a quick mound visit here, maybe not. Coaching staff coming out. We have a pause here for some reason. A glove, okay. I don't want to wait any longer. So Romano waiting for a new catcher's mitt, perhaps.
Is moving around for
Again, Bonner 3 outs away from their first PCL championship since 2022. They've had a hard time getting past the semifinals the past couple of years. They blew out LaSalle 14-1 yesterday, and now with a great dominating performance again, Bonner has scored 24 runs in their last 13 innings. That's a lot of runs.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, you'll take that if you're head coach. Here's Sheridan's debut. His first pitch is low. It's 1-0. Jack Rock, again, he pitched today. The 1-0 is hit on the ground hard over to second. Graziani has his throw to first, is in time. 2 pitches and an out. And Rock is retired, scored the putout 4-3, and the Friars are 2 outs away from a championship. Here is Pat Fitzgerald coming up for Ryan. Fitzgerald today, 2 strikeouts, both of them against Kowalski. First pitch here from Sheridan is a called strike. 0-1. And imagine, for Bonner, how good it must feel to see their teammate Sheridan out there on the mound after, what he's dealt with this year, obviously with injuries. Sure feels good for Coach DeBarberi as well. And the 0-1 is whacked foul. It's 0-2. Sheridan looking for his first punch out of his 2025 season. Here in the PCL Championship, the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. There it is. First strikeout of Corey Sheridan's season. That was a beauty. 2 outs. Well, here's Aiden Goldberg, and Ryan is down to final out here in Camden, New Jersey at the Camden Athletic Complex. Bonner leading 10-0. It's been all Friars here today. Looks like it's pretty much been all Friars over the last couple months. And Corey Sheridan looking for the 3rd and final out. Aiden Goldberg hitting 188. He's had a good day today. Reached base both times. 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. There's a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Bonner 2 strikes away. You can feel the energy beginning to pick up here in Camden, New Jersey. No balls and 1 strike to count. Sheridan, the righty, from the windup. A little bit low. It's 1-1 breaking ball.
and I believe they're all
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Flash Krizwicki is on deck. Ryan would like to get him to the plate. The 1-1 is chopped foul, and it's 1-2. And now Bonner is 1 strike away for a PCL championship here in the bottom of the 7th. 10-0 lead for Bonner. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Again, glad you could join us. Bonner again 1 strike away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Goldberg. Sheridan,
final out.
the righty, comes set. And the 1-2 pitch is hit on the ground. Over to short. Fernandez has it. The throw. And for the first time since 2022, and for the 5th time in program history, Bonner has won the PCL Championship.
Oh, God. That's the picture.
celebrate Bonner, and they will. And back of the mound, Corey Sheridan gets the save or gets the closeout there for Bonner. And the Friars are 2025 PCL champions as they defeat Archbishop Ryan by a final score of 10-0. Wow.
The water is going
Great job, guys.
over there.
Thank you.
Water left and right. Great celebration.
Real.
Bonner with the truly historic run, the number 6 seed in the postseason. They defeated Father Judge in the quarterfinal round after getting a bye. They defeated they defeated LaSalle, the number 1 seed, 14-1 in the semifinals, and then defeated Archbishop Ryan 10-0 today. They scored 24 runs in their last 13 innings. The pitching was great no matter who was on the mound. Michael Kolansky was great. Corey Sheridan was great. And yesterday, it was all set up by Johnny Ortega and Danny Buckton on the mound. Again, final score 10-0. It's really hard to find a player of the game because the whole team was really the player of the game, but Kolansky was really good. Goes 6 innings. With more coverage for you here on our social media. But again, from Camden, New Jersey, I think the first time they've ever played a PCL championship here. Historic battle. Ryan has defeated Bonner a few times in the playoffs over the years, and Bonner gets a championship here against Ryan today. And final score 10-0 from Camden, New Jersey at the Camden Athletic Complex. Corey Sheridan makes his debut and closes out the ball game. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Bonner, the 2025 PCL champions. For Brendan Ricciardi, I'm David Chapansky. We'll see you on Tuesday for Radnor and their game at Villanova Ballpark in Plymouth Meeting. We'll have coverage for you beginning around 3:55. The game will begin at 4 o'clock. Have a great rest of your day, Delaware County. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. Happy and safe Memorial Day. Again, final score, Bonner 10,